कार्ड लेवल ये दो
Sound muted.
To make sure that the rest of the team steps it up?
I think I mainly focus on the whole, like the whole bigger picture of the like I don't really focus on someone individually not performing. Usually I just focus on what's not working as a system right now. What can we do to improve as a team right now? It's not really helpful to tell people, you know, like you're not hitting or you have to compensate for this player. Like we just try to play our game and just make sure that we're mentally always on top.
I'm glad to hear it. Thank you so much for talking to me, dude.
Did talk about in particular their Searson, because yesterday in their match versus OG there was that third map where he just did not perform, unfortunately, and we saw them fall. I think he had 5 kills in the first 11 rounds.
From them being in one round, so he was not finding a lot of impact. You're right, but Searson to me is not a problem when it comes to big and not performing. I think yesterday they fell apart as a team, and then of course Searson cannot perform. I think he's one of the most stable players we have within Counter-Strike. I think he's always good for a couple of frags, always good for a clutch, always a potent player on the server. So I'm not too worried about him. I look towards the rest of the team and how they approach the game as a team.
Well, speaking about the team potentially falling apart, we need to take a look at their past results, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday, and this is not looking too good for the team who, as you said, beating MIBR isn't necessarily like oh, that's a big win for you for a team like Big Clan.
No, and the biggest problem with this graphic right here is the fact that they lose 0-2 to Heroic and they lose 0-2 to G2. Of course, they lost 1-2 to OG yesterday to correct it. But the fact that you're losing to G2, who then makes a roster change, you lose to Heroic 0-2, who then goes on making a roster change, you're basically playing two teams who are already more or less death. Two teams who know that they're going to make roster changes, two teams who are not in a great shape. And if you're Big Clan, you still went on and you lost 0-2. Right now, result-wise, they're in a crisis. Playing-wise as well, I think I saw it yesterday, on Inferno in particular, they're not playing Counter-Strike very well right now. They're struggling a little bit, and they're too easy to rattle out of their position, to rattle out of their game plan, and that's a problem for Big Clan.
Well, speaking of struggling, we did get to see on Nuke yesterday a great little clutch coming out of Xanterras, and we're going to take a look at that one more time, but it seems like that shouldn't be around you should ever win in a 2-on-5, honestly.
No, it shouldn't be around that you ever win. Xanterras is doing a fantastic job right here. Of course, playing behind 15-12. They're well aware that if they lose this round, that's it. Now, the reason why we want to highlight this clip is the fact that there's individual brilliance still within the lineup. Xanterras is doing a good job. He's still a fantastic Counter-Strike player, still has a lot of X-Factor on the server. So individually speaking, I see glimpses of Xanterras. I see glimpses of Tapson. I see glimpses of Searson as well, doing a good job. We just need to see it more on a consistent basis. Otherwise, playing against teams like OG, Heroic, Complexity, that can be too much for Big to handle.
Well, that's my question, right? You keep talking about these X factors, and for me, it's like, can one of them, like Tabson, for instance, be a player that can carry against a team like Complexity, like a team against Heroic, which is their match obviously coming up?
Well, he potentially can be, right? But I think that's it's not the right way of looking at it for Big Clan. Like the way and the DNA they have within their organization, within their team, is to win as a team. They have normally good synergy. They have normally good team play a lot of different maps, have a strong map pool. So if all of a sudden you start to rely on Xanterras, or you rely on Tapson, or you rely on Searson beating the teams for you or carrying your team, then the DNA within the team has changed. And I don't think that needs to happen for Big Clan. Of course, right now, they're not doing a good job. They went 1-2 against OG yesterday. They now face Heroic, Complexity, two of the toughest teams in the group as well. Big Clan, they have to get at least one victory in the next 2 games to still stay in it, and I think it could be very, very tough for them. I didn't see anything good coming out of them yesterday.
I love how you pointed that out. The fact they need to get one win in these next 2 matches, and they have pretty much their toughest matches. I feel like I can feel safe in saying that in the first 3 games for them here in the Pro League. And just to imagine, if they lose today, and they can't beat Complexity, we could have the #1 seed in Group A not make it into the playoffs.
Yeah, and that would be the manifestation of a crisis for Big Clan, of course. You see the tendencies already. The results are not looking good. The way they play right now is maybe not to the same level it were a couple of months ago, but let's not forget that Big Clan have been here before. They've been a little bit up and down before. They tried it before. They were one of the best teams in 2020, so they definitely have the level. They have the ability to be up there, but as of right now, they're facing a little bit of a strugglesome period.
And we are seeing the picks come through as well. We got Nuke and Mirage off the bat, and I love kind of the economy we have between the 2 teams, where Big Clan should be performing better. And for me, it's more about, can Heroic maintain the kind of form they had yesterday? And now I understand the opponents for them might be a little bit different, obviously playing against Renegades and now up against Big Clan, but I want to see them continue to improve, right? I want to see the time that they're being given, they're using effectively to always improve, to always slot in, refresh a little bit better, keep Shush playing well, and just continue that momentum, that honeymoon period that you get with new players on a roster.
And I guess that's the guy you want to look out for, right? If you're sitting at home as a viewer and you want to pinpoint yourself or focus or follow a storyline throughout this game, look at Refresh. Look at how much impact he's able to find for Heroic. I think it will take him some time before he's up to speed. It's going to take a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months of practice before he's fully utilized. But already now you see glimpses of what he can do for Heroic. You're facing a big clan today that are not playing well. You're facing a wounded animal, to be honest. So if you're Refresh right now, what better game to go in here and showcase your own teammates, showcase us as viewers, and showcase the fans out there what you bring to the table. I think he's going to be a player in general that I'm going to be very interested in following for the future being, because he's going to struggle a little bit in the beginning, I feel, but the more time he gets under the belt, the better he should be.
See, I feel like, as Cadian did mention with Frankie, that slotting Refresh in, looking back to Inferno, right? Thinking back to how him and Cadian pushed down middle together, consistently try to get aggressive against the team. I think that's what Cadian meant, is that he's slotting really well with him in terms of wanting to be aggressive. But go on to a map like Nuke, I wonder what kind of aggression can they really pull out CT side. We saw Ramp be a massive point for Big Clan to struggle against yesterday when they played against OG. They could not get around Issa. I'm wondering if they're going to have those same problems today.
Well, potentially. I mean, Heroic have definitely seen the game yesterday. They may have spotted a couple of tendencies or a couple of weak points within the Big Clan.
Yeah.
I don't know about Nuke yesterday. It was a weird game. I felt Big Clan were in control in the beginning of the game. They were up 4 on the T side, and then everything fall apart. Normally, you'd see Big Clan with the experience they have, they would be able to, you know, grind out a couple of rounds more. They would have been able to get at least 5, 6, 7. Winning a pistol round, that should have been game over. But yesterday, they just weren't performing up to the level you'd expect from Big Clan. Today, it's a new case. They face Heroic, who are still coming in with 2 new players. So there's definitely an opportunity for Big to wish-wash what we saw yesterday and get the W.
So if I were to hard press you on this, predictions, really quickly, how do you see this one going?
I think Heroic is going to win, but I think it's going to be 2 very, very close maps.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and head over to our commentators to kick off our first map here in our final game of the day. It's Big Clan up against Heroic. It's brought to you by Harry and Hugo.
Oh, yes, indeed. Heroic take it on Big. And you wouldn't want to be anywhere else in the world but right here, right now. And in towards this A bomb site. Tabson's up in heaven, but they've already flooded in. They're already all over A. And Tabson's like, well, I'm going to need some help here, boys. And so the rest of Big need to start to rotate in. The bomb is already down. It's a 5v5 retake. This is a weird little pistol round that's happening right before our very eyes. Dizzy and scared about going back through the lobby, and that's because you don't have any idea what lurks here for Heroic. There is a man holding onto the flank. That's Cadian. So we're relying on these Heaven players making the room, and right now, lots of it going their way. Tessez and Cadian left up in this one, and they fought it back into their advantage. Just Tabson having a wrap round into the door, double swang, and Heroic, they get that pistol locked in. Hugo, I haven't even let you talk yet. How you doing?
I'm pretty good, man. Yeah, that's a weird setup for Big, right? We often see that on CT side Nuke, where you give up the A site, you play for a retake there, you go for a triple ramp, and you know if you don't get ramp rush, which would be nice, you just retake it through Heaven with flashes. That was not the case for Big. 2 out, 2 ramp, 1 Heaven, and full armor. No kit, no diffuser, nothing. That's a very weird way to set up for a Heaven retake. They're certainly not hoping for an A play in that round, so they get dished really the worst dessert possible. Heroic, they'll run it right back. They'll run it right into the A site again. And what do you know it? There's only one man here. Make that none. Cadian won his fight in the lobby last time around against Tizian, who flanked. And this time, with Tizian dead, there is a different man coming in on the back line. It's Keto pushed outside. The rest of his team, by the way, saving. Done deal, mate.
Cadian just hit them with the lol. A is free, and then they just run in, mate. And it is free.
It is.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, like that, the entire idea behind the pistol is Bigger going, all right, guys, let's hope they don't rush A, because if they do, we have absolutely nothing to get us back in. We've got to hit headshots. And although they made it close, it's never realistic with no kit, no smoke, no flash, nothing. So 2-0 up. Heroic already showing some face on this A site, and I'm very excited to see what they're going to bring us today, because, you know, while making some big changes, on the Danish side.
Yeah, so it got confusing because obviously big changes, right?
Word this game.
So while making some large changes,
while making some huge changes,
huge, ginormous,
not the word, gymongous,
gymongous.
There's a word in there somewhere.
Humongous changes.
Enormous changes.
Sorry, Hugo, I kind of sidelined your point with gymongous.
I don't even know what my point was. They haven't lost a match since they added Shush and Refresh. So that's something kind of cool. Like they're 3-0 up. Big opposite side. They're 0-3 down. They've lost their last 3 games played.
That's a pretty huge, enormous change that you're onto there, Hugo.
Gigantic.
Gigantic. Well, Let's see. Is it the recipe to success? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a chef. Made into secret.
Anything else?
I'm just going to say exactly what's happening.
Oh.
That's what we're all about. Searson, scoping. Still scoped. Other guy, walking in. Tessez. AK out. Double kill? Maybe. Sprays the AK. Doesn't get anything. Scout gets one. Right click, left click, combination. Down with the response. Deagle's running into the lobby. Oh, the Deagle from Tizian has lit them up. And the force spy for Big. Well, it's looking good. Refresh, the man from Secret, the man who was naded earlier on, is left up all alone in the 1v4. How on earth is he meant to recover this? 40 seconds, the bomb under Big control. And Refresh taking the scenic route in through ramp. They know all about him. Well, they don't know all about him. They just know enough, right? They have the lobby. They've got outside. They're like, well, where else can it be if it's not through the B site or through the ramp room? Now everyone else is outside for Big. That's a little bit weird. Refresh could get this kill and get out of there with the bomb, and now he's been given a fighting chance. You do not want to give Refresh many chances. Luckily enough, he's going into the lobby, and that's where everyone from Big is. Might not matter if Refresh is able to keep this up. 9 bullets left in the UMP, and he just tries to get by, but the wall bang from Keto slowed him down enough that I don't even know if there was time to get that bomb planted.
No time when you're dead, mate. But yeah, what a chance he had to drop B. I think he just thought, like, after he kills Tabson, he's like, wow, I'm being given an awful lot of room. Let's actually make something with this. Surely they aren't lower. Well, surely they are lower, rather. But yeah, B was completely free. Could have doubled back, could have dropped quick. There would have been an event drop from the door player, but hey, there was a really good chance there. He still made it interesting. Still got 2 out of 4. But nice round for Big, finding a forced victory early, turns the momentum off for Heroic. They're still going to keep up the pace, though. Maybe it's not the best of success. The smoke blooms short, and Stown doesn't make it to the vent alive. Blinded was Tizian. And now, well, your game plan's kind of wrecked if you're Heroic. You might be going back to these late outside smokes, trying to clear some control here. Tabson's in the yard. Re-smoked. And there are those smokes down for Heroic that will give them some room to move down towards B if they want. But with every secret smoke that gets thrown, there's always a player or 3 that wrap the main side, and here they come, ready for this A split. KD and Tessez a pick a piece, and now only 1 man left on the top side. Oh, dropping down 6 feet underground, and now it's a 4-on-2.
Nice shot from Searson, but is that enough to get them back into it? A 2-on-3? Maybe. Maybe it's enticed Big to give this a look in. Searson, with that molly, could force a kill his way. The flash bails Tessez out of there and out of the danger zone. Searson and Xantares, do they want to attempt this round? Time ticking away from them. Half of it off of that bomb almost. Xantares not being given anything. Heroic, a great show of restraint, and it's just by hiding, it's just by playing the numbers, right? The fact that it is a 3-on-2 and you're not giving anything over, that means that Big have got no choice but to save. All the pressure was on the shoulders of Big, and it's a pressure that's too much to bear.
Nice little route to escape as well. You don't see that very often. Triple vent drop on the A take to escape with their lives and their guns down on B. Nice split for Heroic as well. They completely catch Big off guard. They may have been a man down early, but killing Tabson outside, player coming out A, getting a pick at the same time. I mean, very well synchronized. And then just the A main split with those smokes. Big were more expecting a B play than anything there. Quick flash in A. That's again, try and get someone down the vent or at least put pressure towards the door, perhaps. Oh, the drop denied. Searson catching Cadian. Now outside belongs to Big. Where do you go from here? Ramp, potentially. You know Xantares is going to be waiting around that position. He's never a fun player to come up against. So Heroic right now are not interested, still looking for A picks. Nothing of which is being presented. Refresh is moving late outside. The AWP has come to support ramp, so it's only Tabson to deal with both the door and the yard. Will they be able to catch him again on one of these main splits? As the bomb still sat back in lobby with a minute on the clock.
Smoke in main, Tabson goes ahead of it. And these fights outside are going to matter a hell of a lot to Big. If he's able to whittle them down, oh, he's not. He's not able to whittle them down at all. Instead, it's given over the 4-on-4. And Heroic, they pull the brakes now. They don't commit to the A split. That's what it was looking like early on. And Big have rotated to accommodate this eventuality. They've got a third man over towards A. With that AWP, it's Searson, leaving Xantares alone at ramp. Now, if Heroic do decide to hit this, if they get past him, they might have a path into that B bomb site. Xantares only good for one. The AWP drops in, the Molotov. Searson tries to peek through it, but they delay the peek. I love that, right? You know that the AWP is likely going to be challenging in the molly, and so all Searson gets is 50 points of damage and then just has to back out anyway.
Very smart. Retake's now on. They have the kit on Tizian, right? Big are taking it slow and low. They're dropped into the door, but smoked off right now. Sisson's still in the vent. He's hoping someone comes his way. Big even giving this a go. They're finally out and about. No one's looking at the door. Everyone was turned sideways. And Shush now has to pick up the pieces. With the bomb not planted for him either, they don't know about Refresh. And he pounces out with a double and a third. Refresh denies the defuse. And Heroic go on with a fourth.
Yeah, Refresh making his presence known. You love to see it. You absolutely do. 4 in the round, 3 in the post plant. You couldn't have asked for anything more from him.
Yeah, I said on the desk, this is one of the guys to look out for. This is one of the guys that needs to perform inside of this Heroic roster. Quite a talent. They're showing it right now. That's a good sign. Smashing Big's money as well. Certainly not what they wanted. Down to 2 or 3K a piece. May as well full eco this, honestly. You're going to get a full buy follow-up. Searson will even be able to get that orb. So it's not a nice call, but it might be the right call. And Big will agree. This is just going to give Heroic even more room to breathe on the T side of Nuke, and we already know the Danes love this map, as have Heroic throughout many iterations of the roster. And Big, honestly, looked a bit underwhelming on Nuke yesterday against OG. They lost it in round 30. They had a couple of crazy rounds, as we saw, that 2-on-5 repeat. But by and large, like, this was a home map for them.
Honestly, man, that performance versus OG yesterday, I mean, I don't think Big could have felt good about it. It looked very, very flat. Like, it was not the Big that we expected at all. And I think if that's the kind of game plan that you're bringing against Heroic, I think they're going to walk all over you. So
Maybe.
we need to see an early recovery, really. Yeah. I do like just then in that pause, Tabson was giving everyone a nice talking to, right? He's very animated when he's trying to rally the troops, and that's good, right? He takes the pause nice and early. 6 rounds, you can still turn this game around. You know, it's still early days. They're not waiting until they're really far behind. They're trying to catch the issue early.
I've seen a lot of examples of Big, like, running out of energy, running out of steam. I think yesterday was an example, right? 2 30-round maps, and then the end, they just get bodied. They get destroyed on Inferno. So that was a bit underwhelming. We even saw that on Nuke as well. It may have been back at Cologne. It may have been around that time where, you know, Big played this, like, 5 OT game on Nuke against NIP, and I think they just won it. And then they go on to Mirage, and then they just get battered. Like, they just fall asleep. But great shots from Xantares. This eco stack on B netted some damage, and there's still a player to worry about in the form of Tabson. They know it. He has entered the board with a kill. They spot him as well. They're trying to find that final player coming in on the backline. Tabson just trying to stay alive. Is there a gun to be grabbed inside of the door? He's just pivoting as he's getting hunted down. Stown gets caught from the back, and now Cadian needs a kill. It doesn't matter which. He won't get either. Tabson with the swing on the P250, and Big on a full eco pick it up. We say they're slow to start, but that is a strong round out of nowhere. They read into the B stack. They were in the lower site from the get-go, and Heroic walk right into the trap.
Look at it, Tabson again, so animated as he's pumping up the team.
This is a weird buy for Heroic. Hero AWP on Cadian.
Man, if there was one guy, you know, that I kind of trust, he's very, very good in any clutch moment, is Cadian. And so in a round like this, giving him the AWP, setting him up for success, it can be perfect. Let's see what he's able to accomplish with it.
A lot of room.
It's a risky buy. It's one that we've seen Cadian make work before. He's down on B with Refresh, kind of scouting out ahead while the rest of the gang try and get into ramp room. To do that, you got to get past Antares. Easier said than done. They do have this flash on Stown. Noise being made in B. They're trying and they're hoping that this is going to force Antares to have to drop. That doesn't happen, and so this bomb gets out into ramp. They do get the kill. Refresh from below is there. And now Searson caught over in hell as well. The AWP retrieved. 2 AWPs now. The problem's getting worse and worse by the second for Big. You've dealt with one of those AWPs, but a second one rises from the ashes. It's Shush alone over at ramp. Bomb planted. I believe it's for him. Yeah, it looks like it is. It's a frontside plant over on the left. So yeah, that is planted for the ramp area. It's AWP now. They might regret that it ever made its way into the hands of Heroic. Half the time ticked off this bomb. Big, they got to get a move on. They got to get in, and they're looking for the kills. Finally, one of them presents itself, but Shush still hasn't moved a muscle. And even then, he's got Refresh waiting inside of the bomb site to help him out. They're on the bomb. They're sticking it, and Refresh is going to spray him down through the smoke. Heroic 5 up on the board. The solo AWP buy gets it done. And even then, it wasn't really the AWP that was bought that played into that round in a big way.
There's just so much commotion. Antares is in the most important position, but he is getting wrapped. I don't even know if there was a call, the Heroic route B opening the door. Even if there was, not much Antares could do. Heroic hit that perfect timing where they're pushing ramp and they're also flanking B at the same point. There was nothing Antares could do about that. The fact that he gets one is impressive enough. Wow, what a round. Heroic even crossed secret fast without Big realizing. And talk of fast, it's the name of the game right now. Speeding out the door, not another eco win denied by Heroic as they find that final kill on the site. Keto dead, and the bomb picked back up. They can plant. Or not.
Oh, down they go.
So sneaky,
Down
these
they
guys. Silent as well. Not a single bit of noise made. With those smokes still in the way, Big aren't going to know till it's too little too late.
Oh, they hear the door open. And now the realization sets in. We've been duped, boys. They can get out of this with some weaponry. It's not incredible. You know, the AK on Searson, that's a nice little touch. But he's going to keep this scout. I mean, honestly, I think you could just throw Searson in, man, see what he can get away with at this point in time. You know, he's got money to buy the AWP up. And while I have no doubt that Searson is the kind of mental case that would like run a scout in a round like this, I don't think it makes a lot of sense, especially when Cadian is donning the AWP on the other side. Regardless, Heroic are up to 6, and this is a really, really put together T side from them. It's looking really clean. Both Tesses and Refresh stepping up. Strong performances from everyone across the board. Great calling from Cadian.
I'm really excited about the future of this Heroic roster, I'll be honest. Like, the changes definitely caught me off guard, but, you know, with a difficult year for everyone, both for these two teams at one point hitting #1, having some incredible runs, Heroic winning Cologne, and then, you know, going on to fall massively from Grace. They want to get back up there, and maybe some new players could be the answer. Right now, Refresh is showing up, 10 and 4, moving outside again. Oh, Tizia, new madman, pushing through the door. He does go 1 for 1 on a round like this with only an SMG. That was decent. His team need to rally together and win the round. Down B is Antares, ready and waiting on lower. Refresh has got to clear him on this corner. It's a nice little off angle for Antares. Will that be the bane of Heroic's existence? Probably. There's one. Oh, the spray. He's continuing it. Trying to bait Refresh into his fire. And Refresh is wiggling and jiggling and finally taking the headshot. That's a very smooth move from Refresh.
And it's trying to get the information outside that's left Big in a very rough spot. Shush is here. They know that the bomb is outside, so they're looking to try and drop it. And the bomb has been given over. Cadian and Refresh left up in a 2-on-2. They lost Refresh somewhere down on that B bomb site, and Cadian in the meantime is lurking in through Squeaky. Searson caught out Down on B, leaves it all on Keto. Now, if you play trades, Heroic should be golden here, but with low HP on refresh, he's been given that AWP. He's been throwing it over. Keto back in through the garage, trying to line these up, and the spacing isn't great, but Cadian is still quick to activate and get that trade. AWP picked up as well for Heroic. 7 now on the board. Money in an awkward spot again for Big, and this is looking like a bit of a landslide early on for the Danes.
What a read from Refresh to hang around in secret. He almost went up the vent, then he second-guessed and just sat in the corner, and Searson just re-aggresses off of that B rotate, trying to come out to help. Cadian's made the call, like, I've not seen him. He's not in main, he's not in lobby. Where else could he be? Well, B was the answer. Can't count Big out of these eco rounds, right? Pistols and armor, they've already done it before. Heroic, taking names, showing face. Cadian with a pick outside. We've got one man cross through secret. Refresh in B again. Tantaras, oh no. Oh dearie me. Not ready for Refresh so deep. And that's because Heroic are still fighting outside in fairness, but coming back up will be his demise. Tizian gets a dig, and Cadian and Tessus keep the round alive. Heroic, they just wait. They just sit in the yard, and all the kills come to them. So simple is, simple does. And now a very important rebuy for Big. They have to win this round, or they will get swept in this half.
I think here I'm looking at Searson. I'm looking at big Searson with that AWP, and I want to see a bit more out of him, right? He's donning it again. A lot of the time he's been caught like having to rotate heaven, hell, outside, like left and right, like never getting set up in the right place, it feels like. Heroic doing a good job of misdirection, and so this time he goes across into secret. Zantares wins his fight at ramp. Oh, Refresh is close in main and not spotted by Searson in secret. A big gap in the defense. Tabson's been blindsided, and Searson now turns his attention outside. But once again, it's at a pretty rough timing. He just about catches Refresh. Regardless, this has given a pretty big window to Cadian down in B. Has a little bit of room to work with. I say that, actually. It must feel pretty claustrophobic. They know he's in the vent. They've got him trapped in this position now that Searson is back, at least. And so the point man here might have to be someone like Stown, right? Stown or Shush, one of these two players that find themselves over at Hell. They need to help get Cadian out of this situation. And that's either by getting kills or getting information that one area is clear. If he can go up through the vent into that A bomb site, that's great. If they can kill Searson over in secret, that's also some pressure alleviated.
Yeah, this is really scary because while A was locked down for so long, Heroic have cleared so much out, and Big have actually rotated away. Good shot from Searson. He can't follow up, but now they have to commit to this A site or drop back down the vent. Searson's gone from B, and that's a temptation there for Stown to join his teammate who's already lower. A was empty for so long. If Searson didn't get that kill, Heroic probably just get the plant in the 3-on-4. Molly to cut off rotate, wrong side though. Zantares on the right. Plant needs to be covered. Cadian flicking back. Bomb going down now. Keto here to stop it. Stown doesn't stick, and he holds out with his gun and gets that kill. 8 seconds. Now it has to be a plant. Cadian needs these shots. They're both coming from ramp, and Cadian's got the quick shot. It's Zantares dead in the water, and Heroic. How on earth do they pick up that round? A 2-on-4. And they just get fed kill after kill for a 9th round.
This is why Cadian is such a big brain individual as well. He dropped down the vent and he just doesn't move for a solid like minute and 10 seconds. He's just waiting down on B, knowing that being patient is the key to winning a round like that. Yeah. And he just completely outbrains the rotates from Big, nails the shot onto the player out through ramp as well. And then with Stown stepping up individually in a very, very big moment for him. It's like a perfect harmony between great calling and the individuals to back it up. Big, it must feel like Cadian's in your head at this point.
Yeah. They've not had any answers for this outside control at all, right? Like Searson with the AWP there, getting a couple was a good round from him, but that's the first time we've seen it, as you've said. Like, he's been getting caught in rotation, left to save, left in awkward spots. So right now, more outside control. Refresh could have crossed secret. He chooses against it. Tizian's back in the door, and now Cadian won't fall for it again. He's going to find him this time around. Now secret is getting taken. 2 players here for Big. But all that does is leave the A site lacking. And Heroic, they're starting to work that one out too.
It just feels like they have like a sixth sense for the exact, like, you know, it's like they can look at a situation without all the information that we have, and they just go, this is what we need to do to win the round. Like, this is the one play that can win it for us. And they seem to do it every single time. Like, this time they dodge that B stack, they move into A. You never even have to worry about this pistol armor round. Shush is holding on to the flank back in the lobby, and he locks in a 10th, double digits for Heroic, big, trailing. They've had rounds that have been close, but every single time snatched up by Heroic, doing the impossible.
Yeah, this must be frustrating to play against, right? You feel like you have no room, feel like wherever you go, you can't find a kill. These like double lobby pushes and like aggressive moves from Big are getting avoided by Heroic in all fronts. Fast outside for Refresh again. He's been such a nuisance. More smokes. He's going to cross B. And he is not alone. Bomb joining. Oh, Shush goes back to check the smoke just in case. And Refresh through the smoke into Sis. And that will be a punished play finally coming through for Big. 5 on 4. They've managed to lose these rounds though. And Cadian has already responded by picking Keto. So it's not exactly free for Big yet. More pushes into the doors getting punished. Antara's on lower. Oh, Tessus is looking the wrong way. Shush as well. He flicks back though. What a time to turn around as Heroic now run their way through B. Double molly. Maybe should have split it, but heat of the moment. Now heat on the ramp as Heroic own both bomb sites at the same time. A and B. Big are left scratching their head, wondering what the hell just went on.
Yeah, it's actually astonishing. Like, Heroic, they have a defense on A and a defense on B right now. Oh. But the bomb is down on B, and that is an important factor to remember here. Heroic, they need to start dropping in, because now it's a 3-on-3. Now there's a chance for Big, as small a chance as that might be.
Nope.
Big aren't even taking it. They're too far out of this round. Oh, bye.
Yeah, they just have so much stuff to clear, right? Think about the real estate that Big have. It was 4 on 4, and Heroic are B and A. Where are Big at that point? They're ramp, they're outside, they're pushing lobby. That's not useful real estate at that point in the round. Like, lobby, you're certainly used to finding picks there if Heroic have sent a few players down secret, but the lobby players are pushed into A and the secret players are pushed into B. It's just pandemonium right now. This must be such a difficult game for tabseN to read, something he's often so good at. But nothing's going right. 11-2, a beautiful game out of Heroic right now. It has to be said. This is not just, you know, Big sleeping at the wheel. This is Heroic crafting these rounds to perfection. And we've not had any weak links, right? Like, Shush 6 and 6, that's fine. Tess is 8 and 8. We've had big frags from Cadian, Stown, and Refresh up there on double digits, but it's not like anyone's been struggling. No one's been losing clutches. No one's been giving up mad advantages.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's the thing. With a scoreline like this, it's not even about, you know, like who's fragging the hardest. It's like, you know, everyone's just playing this together. It's great team play all across the board. The kills that are coming in from the guys that are going for entries have left them like higher up on the standings. But, you know, we've had a lot of like high impact frags from guys like Shush and Tesses. So this round's a little more tense than normal. Music's carried on. Doesn't normally happen. And there it is, it's gone. Silence, it's back.
It never left.
Oh.
Refresh.
It's gone.
Ooh.
Refresh is up
How
close.
Does he do this?
He hits a perfect timing. Oh my word. He's over at hell. tabseN, is he gonna get this information? Oh my goodness, Refresh. He's like a ghost. How is he even here? How has he managed it? Up he goes into heaven. Oh, Keto, you're about to have a very, very bad round. Please don't be too upset. Refresh in with the double, and the A site is open for business. Big are left scratching their head. Where did this death even come from? How did he even get there? So many questions and no answers as Heroic are on to a 12.
Just have to save here. What else can you do? You want to buy last round, but Refresh is putting you in the ground. A third kill, killing tabseN outside. The player he never saw, by the way. if you're Refresh seeing Tabson, if anything in Garage is a bad, a bad omen, because you're going to take that kill while you got it, and he wouldn't have wrapped Heaven and got the double instead to win the round. Now he gets all three. He gets his cake and he eats it too, but he will finally perish to the hands of Xantares. Not that that makes much of a difference when he gets traded by Shush, and boom, 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 Heroic, they're all over the map. They're hunting B. Searson trying to save desperately, gets one. They're going to run right back for him. They've got the money, they've got the wit, they've got the pace. But he just saves his AWP in the last couple of seconds. So guns can come through for big, but it is desperation right now, looking for 3 at the half.
And if you want to know where we're at, Shush has bought a P90. So to give you an idea of how this is going, you'd have to look at it and say not great. P90 out for Shush, and he's fast into the ramp room. Xantares, is he about to get P90'd? You hope not for his own sake, and yeah, he ain't falling for that. Xantares in with the double. Ramp room taken, B-side being moved into by Heroic. A very, very fast round, just brimming with confidence. Tess says nails the shot onto Keto. Even drops the bomb. Someone else take it. I don't want it. I'm looking for kills. You guys have had your fun. Now I want to have mine. And Tess says, out towards the double door. Stound's been tasked with getting the bomb down. He will do it. Stound's good like that. He'll play the objective while Tesses goes looking for frags, and Cadian being patient as ever. Knows that patience is the ultimate virtue when it comes to farming this kill count. That's really all Heroic are looking for at this point in time, because the 13-2 half is looking like a done deal, unless Searson and Tizian, now just Tizian, can somehow get past them, and he can't. 13-2, Heroic, they are exploding onto our screens with a phenomenal lead, a phenomenal read. This map is looking like a lock-in. Find out if it is in just a minute.
The team I think that would give us the hardest time is Big. I think they're really structured team, and they have really good tactics and teamwork. So it will be hard to find gaps in their playstyle. They will punish many mistakes that you eventually will make, but it's gonna be a hard time for sure.
Hey Future Pros! I saw Big doing a nifty little boost on Nuke during the European Minor Open qualifiers, so I thought I'd quickly show you all how to recreate it. To do this boost, you'll need 2 Future Pros and 1 AWP. Future Pro number 1, you'll be acting as the stool. It's important work and your contribution is appreciated. Run over and hop onto the far left railing and crouch down. When Future Pro 2 is on your head, stand when they jump and then just chill out. Future Pro number 2, you will get to have all the fun. Follow Future Pro 1 and get onto their head using the close railing. Jump again to allow your stool to stand. Now aim towards this gap and line yourself up so this railing lines up with the edge of the direct close wall. Position your scope so you're aiming just below the painted blue section. Then fire your AWP when the timer is just about to change from 148 to 147. Here you can see the exact moment when Searson made his shot. And that's it. With a bit of luck and a willing teammate, I'm sure you can hit this shot at least 1 in every 100 rounds. Good luck.
Give up the fight if you had no time to even surrender? Would you give up your rights and let your life slide away?
Yeah. Let's talk. Look, hey yo, we rose from the dust to the sun. They claiming that we the one, never won.
Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. Heroic 13-2, by the way. They're absolutely destroying Big right now. There ain't no touching them. What do you even do here, Hugo? How do I fix this? How do I fix... I don't like the way the numbers are looking at me, Hugo.
Yeah, it's got to start with a pistol, Harry. That's usually the way to do it. Without it, yeah, it's probably a lost map. Let's see if Big still have it in them. Fast out ramp, jump shots galore. Keto with a kill, and CT's backing out and backing down into the B bomb site where they get hunted. Tesses, can he escape from the grasps of Big as they run him down? Lots of chances to back out here. He sees two, and he escapes again. Just jumping and diving and ducking and leaping, getting out into the safety of Secret. 4-on-3. Cadians kill one off the bomb. Keto, nice shot. Second kill of the round. Now Cadian's out and about, but he gets dinked in the air, and Tapson sends him packing. It's a clean one for Big by the looks, unless Down has something incredible for us. Surely not going to get given a chance, and Tapson, dancing with that Glock, takes his third kill. Big, round 3. Baby steps, but it's got to start somewhere.
I mean, we all know the famous song, right? Oh no, I was about to make a horrible meme that I'm just not gonna do, Hugo.
Okay, well,
no,
for the best.
We'll slip and slide right past that one. Oh, it's too cringe even for me, now that it's in my head.
Okay, wow.
Yep.
Keep going.
Can happen. Look at this, ramp rush, ramp room, Cadian. Gotta stop it all. Oh my word, there's so many bodies on the other side. The Mac-10 chases him down. Searson and Keto both getting a kill apiece. Rotates are already in at B though. It's down. And it's Deagle. Betrayed on the first couple of shots. Now getting pressured, refreshes in with the peak, and well, they both die.
Yeah, pushing ahead of the molly. That's exactly what Big wanted, right? But the alternative was to give up the site and probably losing the retake. So you understand. No survivors. Tizzy with 3, making moolah off the Mac, and Big with 4. Not going to call it a comeback yet, but they've at least done their due diligence. They've got one more anti-eco to deal with. And then Heroic really bring the heat. Then things get far more difficult for Big than these last couple of rounds. And that's the round done.
Double nades. Can you do anything creative with these? You're struggling. You're like trying to figure out, like, what do we do with the... Oh, there's a... The nades come to them. Double nades. Cadian's like whirring his brain as fast as he can. Where can I throw this? What can I do with it? Oh, he's worked it out.
Yeah.
The robot brain has activated. Cadian, smartest man in the entire world. What does he come up with to do with this nade? It's the USP getting one. The nades. They go out as well, but they don't find anything. Cadian's still alive. Big brain on his shoulders. All that much easier to hit, though, as he learns the hard way. Tabson Mac-10s him down. Big on to 5. Still a long way to go.
Yeah, baby steps. We're going to be saying that for the next 4 or 5 rounds at least. When you hit double digits, you start believing. But Heroic, they could get rid of this problem before it even manifests. They could end it here and now if they do so, please. No kit. But they got the orb. So does Searson. Oh, is it going to be a bit of a faster one again for Big? They've got a quick smoke outside. It's actually going to go in through the rafters towards door. One of those. What's Tessa's got for us here? A cheeky little pop flash into the ramp side. Stown's going to get aggressive. That was so blind in the corner, and he just bounds out. he doesn't clear it, he never knows. Tesses leaves as well, and oh, caught with a nade in hands down. Maybe should have committed after all if that was going to be the end result. Keto doubles up, and Big, well, this is all theirs, surely. Hero getting a taste of their own medicine, can't even fire off a shot. Shush alone, good luck.
God, they're not even going for the plant. They're just hunting for him. Shush. Oh no, he's getting spammed. They hear it.
Okay, all right. There's another. Now the timeouts are coming for Heroic. Now the eco. Ooh. It's not worrying yet, but very soon, very, very soon it could be.
Yeah, a bit of a ghastly ramp hold as well, right? Caught with almost the aggression, right? Almost giving away the kill. Then they get back. Tesses hits a very unfortunate timing, and that's what it must have felt like a series of unfortunate timings at ramp. First guy almost dies pushing, just gets out of there, goes to smoke it. Second guy decides to fall off boxes at that exact moment in time, and it's like, oh, well, you know, they just push ahead of the smoke, and you get caught with nades out. So little bit awkward, little bit of a gross round to get dealt your way and have it go so dominantly in favor of Big. And that's the thing, like I think Big we're probably feeling a little bit out of this game. Like, you know, like it didn't feel doable 2-13, but now after they win the pistol and then they steamroll you in the first buy round, well, now they're starting to believe again.
Yeah, winning around like this, though, that's not going to be easy for Heroic. The Eagles galore. Secret being held by Sis and Kaden, giving it a wiggle, but won't commit. They try and cross B, could get problematic. But 3 players in the lobby right now, more likely going to end on this A split if they were to come outside. I say that they're towards ramp on the T side, so everything is open here for Big. They don't know how many players are waiting in the yard, trying to peek them together. Don't want to go out too early when this AWP is still holding, still posted up, and they'll leave yard. They'll throw the main smoke and they'll go back to the ramp side where they've already taken a lot of room. Rug don't really have much B control right now. They're more so stacked on A and yard, so if Big just drop, that could be the solution to picking up around here with no kit. No smoke for the bomb. Heroic don't really have the tools to win a retake on the lower site.
It's just a save. Heroic never even given a chance to play. And while Heroic were doing a great job of outmaneuvering Big in that first half, Big are now bringing that same ability into their T side. I don't know where this came from either. Right? Like, you know, Big looked pretty washed, to be honest. Like in the start to this game, like it just looked like they were a bit out of it. A bit caught off guard by Heroic, but great resilience from everyone on Big to keep this up.
Yeah.
And as we had from Cadian in that first half, a great bit of calling from Tabson. You know, the easiest way to win a round, mate, is just to never even take a fight. Just plant the bomb, 5v5, force them into the retake. And that's how a lot of these rounds have felt. Like they've just been dodging the fights.
And keeping so many players alive in these rounds that are winning 5 many of the times. So money is getting out of control for Big. Heroic are going to need multiple rifle rounds in a row if they really want to break this economy. So scary stuff. Not out of the woods. This 13-2 half forgotten now as Big start to build. Are they setting up for a top hit? They've got a boost on the roof. Oh my, the nades coming in. That's a cool idea, I'll give you it, but no kill. Oh, there it is. Searson gets on top with the AWP. The nades come in early, and then the AWP does all the damage. Big love a little boost on this map, don't they? They've got that T-Spawn on that picks a Heaven player. Well, that's another way to kill the Heaven player.
Heroic is screwed. They've got AC 130 support on the side of Big. They've got eyes in the sky.
Oh, my.
And not the kind that, you know, leaves you banned forever. It's a far more legal kind. Just a little boost. It's smarts, brain smarts, mate. And it's the save for Heroic.
Wow.
Brutal scenes. They use that boost. They kill Shush. Round 1. Like I say, Tabson, genius of like, yeah, look, we can win this game taking what, like a fight every 2 rounds, I reckon. Just win 1 fight. Heroic haven't even got a chance to play, it feels like, like this CT side, I'm still just waiting, like, one of these days they're gonna get just a gunfight, just a chance to actually play the game. But thus far, it's been like, well, don't know where I died from, and we rotated to A and the bomb's down B. So that's a save. Look at this.
Oh dear. I mean, if the nades don't do it, that certainly will, right?
If there was one thing that Shush was not expecting to happen today, I think it was that. I still bet he probably doesn't know how or why or what just killed him, outside if it was an orb.
I hope they use the T-spawn boost to kill another Heaven player in this game. There's one that you can just do here to the left. Like
yeah, but that's timing, isn't it? As opposed to...
luck. It's luck. That's what it is. But, you know, even if you time it to perfection, you don't know at what rate the CT's coming up. You can still hit it, though, and it's been done before. Outside aggression, Cadian picked up early, though, by Tabson on the box. Smokes it down, mollies it, but that will only last half as long as the smokes will. All the spam finally finished by Refresh. And now we're into a 4-on-4. Heroic, in so many rounds of their T-side, it felt like Big didn't get to play the game, Harry. So they really are getting dished it back, and Refresh pushes a smoke. Absolutely mental gameplay here, and it works wonders. Don't let Big avoid you. Instead, force the engagement. And Heroic are going back for more of that on the ramp room with 2. This should surely at least be a trade for Heroic, worst case. And Big, are they even ready for this? If no one's looking, it could be multiple backstabs. And this is a great call to stop here for Heroic. They won't commit. They could be getting held right now. They don't know. So they're going to wait until Big commit. Either they commit into this 2-man setup, or they go A, and the flank will be very, very fast indeed.
Oh, the timing's good. Down with the first, the trade denied, the aggression. It works wonders, leaving Tabson in the hot seat. Stown gets out of there, but it's a perfect bait and switch. He makes all this noise, and so now Tabson is not ready for Tesses at all. Stown is posted up over towards Hell. He can help out inside of A if he's needed. And that's assuming Tabson even gets past the hut guy, which he's not.
For a second, but no. 14-8, and that's the 1 round Heroic needed, right? They finally get on the board. It took them some time.
Hut's such a garbage position to have to check, because the way that you see a lot of people end up checking it is they go, well, I'm not dead, so it's probably okay. And there's like other places I have to look at. So
too many angles, not enough.
Because otherwise, you look at top hut, and then you die from like a main or a side peek, and you're like, well, he wasn't there. I wasn't dead. I shouldn't have even looked. And then that round there, you know, you had to look.
14-8, can Heroic close it now, or will Big respond very quickly indeed? Now, Big, the call definitely is going to be made. Okay, watch out for that aggro, because that's what lost them the round. It was Heroic pushing through the door smoke, pushing through the ramp. And so Big need to have their wits about them. They need to be patient in this one and see how Heroic try and do it again. Tizian's down B, missed by Cadian, but he hears it. Is he ready for the wrap? He's getting flanked on the left side. He swaps positions. He gets in the vent. And now he's wondering, wait, where the hell has Tizian gotten to? The call's surely made. He must have told his team to watch out for the secret wrap.
Cadian's freaking out right now.
There's nowhere else
he's thinking he's having like a psychotic episode. I swear I saw someone, he's saying to himself.
And Tizian's really cleared nothing.
And Tizian's like, guys, B's clear. There's nobody here. It's actually perfectly safe.
He's gonna
he couldn't be more wrong. Yeah, he's going to walk into that AWP a little delayed, a little bit later. Or will he? Cadian's posted up at Decon. This is such a wild round. Everyone's just missing each other. No one even knows where each other is. Cadian's finally like, well, they might be here, and there they are. They're right in his face. Tabson takes it off. The B side now getting hit by Big as they move in. Uncontested after getting those 2 kills. And Searson's even holding for the rotates. This is looking like another big round locked in.
Save. Oh, no, dude. That really went from bad to worse. Like, Cadian misses the timing. He doesn't get checked by Tizian, funnily enough, but even so, just letting them get that deep, getting that much room from outside to secret. A Big split it from ramp as well. Santara's looking for exits from Hell. Stown's trapped. Santaris has a molly and a nade. Surely he can get this kill. Oh, refresh. That looked dead on. Molly and nade combo. Well, oh, he kills him with a Molotov. Broken by a bottle. Slashed. Oh.
Atara's like, yeah, so I just bottled the guy, right? Just right there and then.
That's funny. That's it's not every day you see that.
Pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
Shout out to Antares one time. Don't mess with this guy.
Yeah, the nade put him down low, and the I guess flask will finish the job.
Flask.
It's not really a flask, it is a bottle.
It is a bottle.
Yeah, I'm trying to use different words, Harry.
Let me
get my thesaurus out. One sec.
Thesauruses are my favorite dinosaur.
Thank you, Harry. All right. Big are really making this one interesting. This is no longer a dominant game. This was a 13-2 half if you're just tuning in. Heroic finally get their first round of the board, and Big respond immediately. Tizian going for the vent drop, I can presume by the buy. He's on a Mac, and he's running it back right down. No, into A. It's a full commit. Big are going to push off the back of this. He misses his shot, but his teammates are mollied off. Refresh kills Antares, the only man who made it ahead of the molly. And now Big have to decide, do they stay or do they go? Does it even matter? They're losing players in an instant, and the bomb is lost. Oh, no. Bad to worse. At least some of the heroic players are low. Oh, forget it.
Just Searson. 1v3. Refresh is low. With the AWP, it don't make a damn difference. It's almost the collateral, but almost. There's no prizes for that. 15 on the board for Heroic, and this was always going to be a problem. All it takes is one round, and suddenly the momentum is gone, right? And you're up against 15. Now you need 6 in a row for an overtime.
Man, I was believing in the big comeback. I really was. Not to say it's not still doable at this point, but yeah, that A-rush gets shut right down. Good mollies for Heroic. Sections Big apart. Only lets 2 players commit. Oh, the flash is so good. KD makes a secret. He should have gotten spotted by Searson, who may still be aware of that. He certainly looks it, but the flash denied the info. So Cadian in a very powerful position right now. He can't swing, though. Searson's not leaving the angle. Cadian, he's just going to chill. He's just going to wait back, relax. Let them come to him. Back garage position for Tessers. He's been smoked off in 2 fronts, so he just gives it up. He goes, watch for your main, watch for your heaven. I'm playing the late game.
I'm covering nothing.
Yeah. He can backstab later.
Yeah, and that's where he's going to have to get usage out of this position.
Oh,
and he will get it. Tabson not able to accomplish that same feat that Refresh did in the first half. Searson, while he has dealt with KD and down in secret, it hasn't dealt with the man in garage. And so outside, he's still off the cards. Back into A, go Big. Seeping through. Keto, where's he at? He was able to get across. Is he? Yeah, he's ramp. He's going over towards heaven. He could hit a good time in here. Yeah, he could wrap into this A-bomb site. And that could be the undoing of Heroic. They think they've taken everything into account. They think they dealt with the outside play. But it's the late ramp movement from Keto that might just bail Big out of this round. Up he goes, and in with the first. Refresh is good for a double, and that's kept Heroic in this one. Really, they should have been too far gone. Keto's flank still putting up numbers, but the bomb is dropped in the prying eyes of Stown. He's waiting patiently, waiting. 15 seconds, the orb's in with the first, but from the hut, Searson strikes and gets that trade to keep Big in this one. 10 to 15. And the money gone again for Heroic.
It's a nail biter this entire game, but especially that round. I was so scared that Big were walking out the door early with that heaven flank. As long as they play it a little more patient, no way Refresh gets that double and drops the bomb and puts down in a winnable round. Big just had to wait a few more seconds for Keto. Doesn't matter though, they win it, right? Comes down to the clutch, but as long as they pick it up, they remain vigilant, remain in this game. 15-10. Half buy for Heroic. They're going to push ramp. It's being held. Orb is ready. Free kill for Searson, Tizian, Antares. Everybody mops up a frag. Down hits the molly. Oh, he was hiding in the smoke, but then the molly spreads, and that gives away his position. Cadian gets traded, and it's going to be a team ace for the Big clan. Up to 11. Oh, boy. 4 away. Absolutely not insurmountable odds. In fact, quite the opposite.
Slow approach, but with some outside smokes thrown in. Being very, very cautious about red, and that's because they take that early nade, and there's also the glaive cross smoke thrown. Down, what's the play going to be here? He gets smoked off in main. It's the wide smokes that allow for a garage wrap. Now, up in heaven, there is Tesses, and he does have a flashbang, so he could try and set Stown up for something here. Oh. You almost want him to try it, right? You would love for this to come through, but instead...
It's too late.
Very measured, and that's going to give up Secret.
Oh, Stown stayed on that smoke. He had a gap. He had a kill. Absolutely. Instead, he leaves it as they cross. The worst possible timing, but still, Heroic aren't falling for it. They're not thinking this is suddenly an A take. They've cleared lobby. They've sent a B rotating. Tizian gets a massive kill into Stown, which keeps outside, you know, dark here for Heroic. But if Tesses can do something incredible, maybe there's a chance. He needs 2 here. Oh, he might have it. He does. Bomb loose. And while there's time for Big, they're scared of more rotations. Not here just yet, but Cadian's coming in with the AWP.
Heroic, they're looking hesitant, though.
Yeah.
Not believing in the retake here. A 3-on-3. This is a real chance, and they might just elect to save. Oh, my word.
I thought if Tesses gets a double there, surely he set them up for a round. At least to send the AWP in, look for a kill. If you don't get it, well, obviously that's a risk you take, but if you do, man, suddenly you're spurred on. Suddenly you're dropping vent and giving that round a go. 2 kits, no util. But not of interest to Heroic. They're playing the long game. And whatever the decision is, as long as everyone's on board, as long as everyone's listening and cooperating, there's nothing wrong with the call. Trying to play the long game, trying to wait for the money to continue building and to close it out in regulation. That's Heroic's plan. But this has been far from clean and easy on the CT side. They buy again? Wow. Okay, I like it. Oh boy.
Oh, fast into A for Tabson, and he lives to tell the tale. In through the vents. Cadian posted up at ramp looking for an aggro peek, and he's going to get delivered it now. Only the tag onto Keto. The nade to follow. Tesses holding for the B push, and Cadian still fighting. Oh, they got him backed into a corner, and Zantares will get the trade at least, but there's still Tesses lurking around that B bomb site. Heroic, look at them go. They're fully rotating. A is empty. A is empty. There is nobody in A. Shush has finally moved in through main, and he's like, well, guys, it's not A. At least I can tell you that, but there's still 1 minute and 10 seconds left, and that is a lot of time. That's like more than 60 seconds right now. Zantares and Searson moving down the ramp towards this B site. Tesses might be in control, but is he really in control? That's the question you got to ask yourself here. Smokes are down. That cuts Tesses off. Down is the one man that could try and make a difference here, but a 4-on-3, they don't want to throw away this man advantage. Any push you take if you're Heroic at this scoreline, it needs to be a push with results. And so they just play it safe. Oh, Stown with the smoke spam. No accounting for that. Tesses given even more room as a result of all this attention being put onto the man in Decon. Leaves it on Searson, and the comeback is denied by Heroic. It takes them a while. From 13-2, we end up going almost the full 30 rounds, but in the end, Heroic emerged victorious. Now 1-0 up in this series. Can Big bounce back?
I pick my teammates up when they fall, and if I ball, we all ball. Crashing balls, crossovers and all. Just call us the balls. Don't fear nothing, call us the law. Serving them all. We outside, we barely indoors because we gave it everything when we had nothing. Gave it everything when we had nothing. Holding on by a thread, couldn't grab nothing. Seems we moved on to a better place. Shine, shine away from the shade.
Yeah, we learned from our loss at IM Katowice a lot. We we did a lot of mistakes. We weren't individually on point as well. We just tried to rewatch the games and see what we did wrong. And also we saw what we did right. So we also took out the positive stuff out of this tough loss, I would say. And yeah, we just prepared well for the maps which we are gonna play, and which we are have in mind to play against them. And yeah, we just try to fix our mistakes, try to be more confident and individually on point. And yeah, then we show a better face than at IOM Katowice, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've seen him. I'm going for this. There it is. There it is. It's taken a while.
Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, straight into a Goomba as well. Oh my lord. I see one guy over here is coming for their drop. I'm just gonna go.
Push late.
One more behind. Towards the tree. Go ahead. Sorry if I bumped you.
Go and screw it.
Alright, I see the last guy.
Enemy remaining.
Oh dear. I'm on a tree. Oh, dude, this is good. I got him.
I still got 3 breaches here. Ah, nice.
4 enemies remaining.
One below me in the town. That guy was about to bomb down. Oh. Oh. Yeah, one in the road here, Freshie. I might go for this.
Nice.
Oh, the poor guy, man. I was trying to bump mines at it.
Well, Big tried as hard as they possibly could in that second half of Nuke to take it for a map victory themselves, but unfortunately, Heroic was able to shut it down after taking a 13-2 first half scoreline. Jason Kaplan still joined by Pimp, and honestly, Pimp, I know we saw Big play Nuke yesterday, but I was still damn surprised to see a 13-2 scoreline.
Yeah, that was a very strong half for Heroic to begin with, and a very poor half for Big. Let's be honest. On the CT side of Nuke, you'd expect them to, at the very least, get 8, 9, maybe even 10 rounds on a good day. But Heroic were constantly punishing Big. In anti-ecos, they were winning. In basically all the buy rounds, Heroic got the bomb plant on the lower bomb side, and Big always had to play catch-up, always had to try to retake. Yeah. And it's just such a strugglesome bomb side to get down to. So for Big Clan, the game plan against Heroic didn't work out. Whereas for Heroic, we gotta give them credit. We gotta give this guy credit. He was the X factor. He was the guy opening up the rounds. He was the guy being aggressive, and a guy that Big just couldn't handle at all. And
he was the guy we were talking about of like wanting to see him step up a bit more. Looking at DreamHack Master Qualifiers, looking at day one, we wanted to see him improve, even put a tweet out about it particularly. But here alone on Nuke, he was able to fit into that role that we were expecting out of him, and Shush was kind of playing to that same kind of level as well of where we expect him to be as a support player.
Yeah, we first were playing with confidence. He was constantly pushing the boundaries. You see a lot of these skills are him being proactive. A lot of them are him moving into a duel instead of just sitting back and waiting. That's the way Refresh is playing. So when he gets the space to do it, and I'm not talking about Heroic only giving him the space, I'm also talking about Big allowing him to be so aggressive, then he thrives well, and you saw the result of it right here. He can be the X factor.
So I want to ask you, because we talked about in the green room, we talk about Cadian being aggressive as an operator, we talk about Refresh being aggressive, but I want you to kind of break down maybe the differences in how they're aggressive.
I mean, Refresh is relentless aggression. Like, he can always be aggressive on the server. He's always pushing for a duel. As I said, he's always proactive, always moving, always doing something to chase the duel instead of just sit back and waiting for it. Whereas for Kaden, he can be a bit of both. Now, we have the Telestrator segment right here as well, and I just wanted to showcase this round because Big Clan, they didn't win a single round after this one. Heroic right now is on a full eco. You can see Refresh and Kaden, they're moving down towards Secret. Refresh is only on a Glock and 11 HP. Kaden has a saved AWP. Tapson completely missing the timing. Therefore, these two players are now allowed down to the lower bomb site without Santaris knowing whatsoever. He's standing here ramping. He's thinking to himself, okay, I'm in a good position. But guess what? Refresh is coming up from the lower bomb site. Tessus, Shus, and Starman is coming out from ramp, and all of a sudden Santaris is getting sandwiched, and he's gonna die with a move to the lower bomb side again, where Cadian is already aware of a potential push coming in. Two players are coming from Secret. Cadian only gets one kill, but already now he spots the second player. By then he can transfer that information to the rest of the teammates. Bomb gets planted, and Tessus has all the time in the world to sit himself in this position where, sure, he will die, but it takes Tapson such a long time. It takes Tishan such a long time to get out to the bomb site that there's no time to work with, and they end up losing a round where Cadian with the only guy with an AWP. Tapson is unlucky with the timing in the beginning of Yard, surely, but if you're Big Clan, you cannot allow yourself to throw rounds like that. You're supposed to win it. And fun fact right here, they didn't win a single round after that. They lost, as you said, 13-2 on the CT side.
I really wonder what's going on within Big Clan, especially since we've seen their recent results as well in the last 6 matches they've had. But we need to kind of look at two players as well here, the two operas for both teams, right? We need to kind of compare Cadian up against Searson, and you can see there is a slight, well, albeit slight advantage here for Cadian. We can see, for me, that stands out, the sniper purchases, though. 8-3 in favor of Searson, so really relying on the AWP, it seems like, for Big Clan.
Yeah, maybe not getting as many drops from the teammates as he was supposed to. But for Cadian, sure, he had a good game. Searson, you're only as good as your team allows you to be. Of course, Searson could be the guy opening up the rounds. He could be the guy, I mean, pushing Big in the right direction. But I think he's suffering, as is the rest of the guys in Big Clan right now, from the fact that they're not playing the best brand of Counter-Strike they've done in a long, long while. They're in a bit of a crisis, not only playing-wise, also as a result-wise. So Searson is not having a good time. Whereas for Cadian, well, he's motivated. He got 2 new players to control. He got a lot of new freedom as well, and a lot of new motivation. So I think Cadian is feeling fairly comfortable on the server.
So I am getting a little bit worried here now. I know I might be jumping the gun just a little bit when it comes to the groups overall, but we're looking at Big potentially going 0-2 in groups. And I know there's still a chance they can qualify, but then they have a matchup against Complexity tomorrow. Honestly, I'm worried if they can't come back in this series, we might not see Big Clan in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that would be a disappointment, not having Big Clan in the playoff, right? They were the best team in the world half a year ago. They were one of the best teams in the world and have been one of the best teams in the world for the majority of the past year. So to see them bow out of the group stage is a big problem. I mean, for Big Clan, it's not necessarily the results that is worrying for me. It's the way they lose right here. Again, it was a cosmetic comeback on Nuke. There was never any doubt that Heroic were going to win. It was just a question whether that was going to be 16-3 or 16-9 or 16-12. Didn't really matter. It was a cosmetic comeback. So when I'm looking at Big Clan right now, there's a lot of synergies that is not really working out there. You see a couple of the players not performing, and this Telestrator round we did, you know, it's an unlucky mistake by Tapson, but there's just too many of these mistakes happening all the time for Big Clan for me to start to believe that all of a sudden they're going to be able to turn this around. As you pointed out as well, they got Complexity tomorrow, and they're going to be even tougher than Heroic.
Well, we also do have Mirage to come up next, which will be Big Clan's choice. And I'm curious of your thoughts of how that map would potentially go here for Big.
I mean, Big Clan picked it himself, and I think Searson is a fantastic Mirage player. I think he's very good at roaming around, very good at playing the CT side, finding impact with the AWP. So we talked about Cadian. He needs to have a great game as well. Tapson, a player that now, of course, in-game leading for Big. He needs to find impact as well. Santaris is a good Mirage player. So I think there's a lot of positives to highlight from Big Clan. But again, if your team play is not up there, if you don't have the synergy, if you don't have the do as a team is working properly enough, then you're not going to win against Heroic. So we need to see more team play. We need to see Heroic maybe, you know, hit a couple of bad timings on the Big defense, and then we can talk about a game at hand.
Well, you know what? Yesterday, when we were watching Nico play for OG, we got to see him style on Renegades with that ace he pulled off with a 360 spin around to the USP. I'm hearing we have a clip for Cadian as well here, styling on some people as we see them take the victory against Big Clan here on Nuke. But we do have Mirage right around the corner. Hope you guys are going to stick around and tune in until then, because when we come back, we're going to find out if Big can drag the series out, take it to a third and final map of Vertigo, and have a chance to redeem themselves from yesterday where they lost against OG. Or we're going to find out if Heroic will be up 2-0 in the group.
Yeah!
start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
My name is Jordan Gilbert, aka Nothing.
Hi, my name is Sue Lee. My handle is Smix. I think it's important for these initiatives to happen. Empathy really, really goes a long way, and it always means so much to us, and I think that's where initiatives like this really help.
I encourage everyone in the community, anytime they see bullying, anytime they see someone getting called names, I encourage you to step up and say something.
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck, have fun.
There's two in that pit, that doesn't even matter because Celsius is killing them all. Finally he gets in, he won't expect Freakazoid. Will expect Freakazoid. Oh, no! Zywoo is trying to do it all! Ridiculous! Zywoo! Woxing's tired, waiting around, and there it is! 4 kills from Woxing. Maya locks down the A-bomb site. He's going to get the ace there. He's overwhelmed. Doesn't make it look like that. He wants some close quarters, shoving his barrel in their belly button. And he's got it as well. Freakazoid. Oh! Another shot hit by Cold Zera. And another one from Cold. He's done it. NBK in a 1v2 that's certainly not easy. Oh, let's go.
Oh my God. That is just absolutely remarkable.
Oh,
let's go.
Now in with another that survived. Cold Zera.
Fallen, brilliant collateral shot. Fallen for the quad kill.
Hey Future Pros, we have another execute for you and your friends to learn. This execute will help when you are taking the B site on Mirage. For this setup, you will need at least 3 Future Pros and 3 smokes and optionally a bunch of flashes. Let's break this down. Future Pro number 1, you will be throwing one of the arch smokes. To do this, line yourself up with this corner of the cracked stone floor. Aim at the left side of this dark squarish smudge on the wall, then simply jump throw the smoke. Since you threw this from close to mid, I would recommend wrapping around cat to get to B or maybe holding off rotations in mid. Future Pro number 2, you will throw the other arch smoke. To do this, line up with the middle part of this window. Aim to the sky and position your crosshair so it is in the middle of the antenna and the overhang. Then throw the smoke normally. Future Pro number 3, you will be smoking off the window leading into the B side. To throw the smoke, get yourself into this corner. Aim at the corner of this large tower, then jump throw the smoke. Nice and easy. With all 3 of these smokes thrown, taking the B side should be much easier than it would be without them. To make this even easier on your team, get your players to lob as many flashes as possible over the top of B. And as always, good luck.
ESL Pro League is brought to you by Gaming Malta, Intel, US Air Force, 1xBet, and DHL.
The big boys go large. The sequel to the best-selling Nuke game that we just saw. Big denied that comeback, taken away from them right in the final stages. But now on Mirage, and I pick a big, they're looking to give it their all. Said that like a news reporter.
Yeah, it's great. Slam the papers on the desk, Harry. It's not really slamming, but yeah, it'll work. Heroic now on the CT side. And we saw a lot of fight out of them in that first half of Nuke. They get a bit quiet near the end, but they closed it, and that's what matters. Where will the momentum go in this one? What a walk for Stown. He's on the big flank. This is weird. The bomb is in apps. It can drop under and go back to A, but it looks like a fake right now. The Deagle out ramp, that's very, very ballsy, but it won't work. Stown is now flanking A, but no one has left this B bomb site. Heroic haven't fallen for it, and they're about to be confirmed. Tizian dead, running away. Cadian tucks behind the bench. He is going to bait for the round, and it might be the perfect play. Searson plants safe. Cadian can't kill him, but he can get another. Oh no! The missed shot, and dinked down by Tabson. Bomb is planted, but Big are a man down.
Also, Xantares is so far away. He's having to rotate all the way back through T-spawn. So these guys that are still inside the site have got to hold on. And Tabson not moving. Finally brought to his knees by Stown. This late flank from Xantares all the way up through Cat. They're not ready for it. And this has been stolen away. Stown trying to figure out, how can I gimmick the system? How can I steal this one? And getting that kill, well, it does help. Kit as well. Xantares gets him off the bomb. And we were never even worried.
No, not for a second, Harry. That was a crazy pistol, man. Big, they send a Deagle out ramp to fake with a full execute and then walk B. The fact that Heroic don't even rotate, they don't even leave the B side. They're both watching apps and they still don't get anything for this hold. That's the undoing of the round, right? It's left to the retake, and with Xantares late, he's there in time to save from the defuse. Down gives it a go. 3 in the round, but not enough. What a weird start to this game, and it's only going to get weirder. Dropping under, been spotted. Stown just hoping he can get something done. The flash works out for one, but he's traded. Honestly, that's pretty good considering they knew he was there. More kills in middle in the favor of Big, and they move up the catwalk. Tesses with a Deegan. B kills the Apps player. This Deagle in mid could do a lot more, but dropped at the first hurdle. Tesses with a missed shot, and now the Scout in a 1-on-3. There's one, and a tag. Okay, Cadian, but Searson, the Scout King himself, sends him out, and Big find themselves a second.
Oh, that was a quick flick from Xantares. Yeah, you give him a couple of chances, he's not going to miss those. 2-0, just pistols now for Heroic, vanilla as it gets.
Ooh, Stown's on a Zeus. This will be interesting. Surely dead to Palace. He probably knows it at this point. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. There's one. Zeus never sees the light of day, but neither does Keto, caught out with nades. In spawn, shush. Overwhelmed, and Big, this is their round, whether you like it or not. Nice.
Do we see the AWP on Cadian?
I'm wondering how many AWPs we see, honestly.
I'm wondering how many AWPs we see as well, Hugo.
Stown's looking at it, he's considering
He's thinking about it.
And he does it. The old double AWP. Out and about versus Searson, no Scout.
Plus, Fury have really led me to question, like, how many is too many AWPs, and does that number even exist?
Oh, not on CT side. That number does not exist. We saw, was it Havu beat? I remember it was Norbert, but I don't know what team it was. Maybe it was Windstrike Norbert, because he got really upset by that loss. Havu were 5 AWP'd a map. Last year, 2 years ago, I think it was 4 AWPs and an auto sniper on CT side Mirage, and they pulled like a 13-2 comeback and they won it by just not dropping around. They just AWP'd every single round. I watched the VOD back, it was actually really funny. They just couldn't get any T rounds going, really. So, yeah, kind of crazy. Obviously, it's not going to work against the best of teams, but can certainly catch you off guard. And the double AWP, no question about it. Lovely buy. To have some boosting Searson for a pick in mid, he won't find any. And these AWPs haven't fired a shot, so Big don't even have the info. Oh, but they do have a smoke spam. That'll do. Tizian finds refresh. Cadian could die. Once this molly expires, he's got to turn his eyes back to ramp, and he does. Luckily, Xantares does not commit. One AWP A, the other sat back at B. And that's where Big are looking to end.
Yeah, not the smoothest transition of that bomb, but it does end up on the back of Xantares. Uh-oh. Flashes up through short, and Stown is not where already at all. Yeah, the round is done, man. Cadian with the AWP trying to save. Look, tabseN, they've put their best man on the case. Oh, well.
Yikes.
There we go. That's pretty dominant. That's pretty grotesque. Pretty huge from Big. What other words are there?
Large, sizable, massive. Big. Why are you looking at me like I have more words, Harry? Yeah,
gigantic.
Exactly. What a round from syrsoN, man. 2 B picks down, just suddenly stops considering Cat, and syrsoN even kills a saving player as well. Fast out A, there's a stack here. Oh, it might be Heroic's best chance of the round. Makito with the opener, and it could all come tumbling down with the bomb dropped. Cadian's D still stands. Ollie onto default. Headshot will do it though, and tabseN, he's looking very crisp right now. They're not ready for TeSeS, surely the 5th man in the site. But if you've killed 4, surely there's another.
Well, we're back with making a messes with TeSeS. Here he is, the Deagle. Oh, it's messy, and we love it. That's exactly what we wanted, Big. Up on a 5.
Ooh, not really what I wanted there, but it will be fine. It will be forgotten.
We promised you something messy. That's what we delivered. God, take anything I ever say out of context, and it just sounds terrible. Here it is, tabseN with the AK.
Forget the context. Yeah, these T sides, I mean, they were the bread and butter of both teams back on Nuke, right? So Big actually starting here, if anything, feels like a favor, right?
Yeah. Not to mention, bread and butter is like a horrible meal.
Don't be anti-bread and butter.
I'm not anti-bread. I'm anti-butter.
Oh, you're just... Shut your mouth, Harry.
Look at this. Look at these B flashes. It's not even B, by the way. Heroic. They're all going that way. They're like, nah, it's B. They just threw 100 flashes, and now they realize, well, no one's come in, no one's pushing. Oh, there's the spot from Shush, but the spot has left him in a pretty bad way. The AWP deletes him. Keto in with another, and the B site, never the intended point of entry here for Big. It's still stacked heavy with Heroic players. The A site is free. Tizian's even hunting down these players before they've even realized they've begun to save. Oh!
Yeah, that's bad to worse. That's Heroic scrambling on rotates, right? They hear some grenades, they think they're getting rushed, and they all panic. And then Tizian never even leaves. He leaves, he waits for kills, and he gets one. He's at least found one of the 3 available frags in the post plant to essentially deny a rebuy. Heroic can't reinvest next round, or not fully at least. They're going for this? There's low time, but they've got kits.
Oh my God, and Xantares has just left A. He's going on a mid-wrap. He's going on. Don't you dare go into the apartment, Xantares. You better be going back to middle. And there he is, going back to middle. syrsoN, waiting. What's happening? Heroic, are you going? Are you staying? Are you going? They're going in. They're going for the ninja. Oh my goodness, they're on the bomb. Xantares, you gotta get them off. They're sticking it. Oh, he gets them off through the smoke. And there it is, Big. They just about keep it alive. Xantares left in the 1v2, and he's good to get it over. Cadian with 4 in the round to make it possible in the first place.
Very nice try. I like that. Didn't even look like a retakeable round, but suddenly they find a couple of kills on Big, getting a little antsy, hunting down the CTs, and suddenly they go, well, we have a kit, we have a smoke, why not give it a go? And it almost comes through. My Cadian will be very upset he didn't hit that shot to Xantares. Would have been the ace and the round. But very nice try nonetheless. That was never supposed to be Heroics, especially considering their early rotate to B. 6-0 for Big. This is storming through right now on this T side. Heroic broke, relying on the AWP. And not much else.
A part of me does wonder, like, if Cadian just blocked the bullets, would the defuse have happened?
Hey, maybe. Maybe not. Could have been lineup.
Could have been, right? And so you understand why he doesn't, but it was very, very close. And honestly, Xantares was focusing on Cadian while he was on the screen.
Yeah, Cadian, you know, he's just hoping he can get back in with another shot to kill Xantares before the defuse. Great spray from Xantares is what he's known for. Oh, falls on the head. He realizes, he stops mid-air and then goes, well, there must have been a player below me, and flicks back and kills the AWP. If he never landed on his head, he never would have known. And it would have been Cadian shooting him in the back. Instead, Big, it's back with a Instead, Big are back with a round. Whoa. And up to 7-0 on this.
And I mean, it's like we all expected, right?
Yeah.
Like, really?
The reverse sweep.
We all said, like, yeah, big man, they've had a slow start here on Nuke. They get 32.5, but just you wait till Mirage rolls around when they 16-0 heroic. Of course, now that I've said it, mark your calendars, it's not happening. Or I guess unmark your calendars. Oof. The cool thing about these 2 kills is they were just all reactions from Xantares, right? Like, he wasn't pre-aiming anything. He had no idea where those players were. And as you say, landing on the head of Katie, and he's like, well, I stayed in the air a little longer than normal. Quick 180 for you. And then he hears the Deagle miss 1 shot, and he's like, oh, also a little 90-degree turn for you. Dishing them out. What a heroic even do here? Refresh gets the opener, and finally, they hit the ground running. They have themselves a 4-on-5. And a B play for Big, just running in. I don't know. It's a little bit dicey. They dealt with Cadia, but over at short, there's another threat. Tucked in at jail, Tessez takes the peek. Searson and Keto left up in the 2-on-4. Nothing presenting itself. The tag is in, and Searson trying to keep them in this one. The nade could have been big. Instead, it goes nowhere. Keto with that bomb up through connector, going for the A-side plant. Searson is just trying to buy time. And my God, has he bought a lot of it? It's meant to be precious. It's meant to be unbuyable. And yet here he is, stocking it up high in supply. Let's Keto get the bomb down. A 1v3 now. He's going to reposition into the jungle, trying to take these fights as Keto. Surely this isn't another big round. 3 players up for heroic, finally in with a chance to put a stop to Big, and Keto, the only man that stands in their way, makes his presence known now. With a player holding onto the connector, Keto might be a dead man. He fakes the drop, they're on the bomb, they don't have a kit, and now he's in with the peak, but Stown gets the trade. And finally, Heroic are onto their first. And it literally is the round after I called the 16-0 as well. So want to throw that in there.
Yeah. Worth noting. Yeah, he fake drops, but then he realizes, wait, the bomb's not planted for jungle. I actually need to drop. I need to go con. And at that point, they're already holding him. Nice try from Keto. Good call, whoever that was, to just send him out of the bomb site when they realized it wasn't path to escape, and he can get a plant at least. Not the Big are scrapping for money yet, but just a bit of extra bonus, and a chance at a round there in the 1-on-3. Warp out for Cadian now, and Heroic, they've broken the curse. Can they keep it going? Smoke in middle, Cadian, he's going to use after he's taken his shot, so he can't get chased down, and there it is, back into the mist. No chance for Big to get anything done. Good opener as well, killing Searson is a huge pick, as he has been a thorn in their side throughout this T-half. Tabson creeping up Cat. Stown's got to keep his eyes on this one. But a lot to do for one man. Lower, top, and Cat. And Big say no, they just smoke it off. They cross instead. Cadian does drop the bomb, but jumping and grabbing with his fingers is Tizzy, and picking it back up and escaping to ladder. B now prepared for Heroic. They're even flanking ramp. Refresh is pushed in through T-spawn. And so it's not a question of where it's going, it's when is it coming, and it's now.
Yeah, the molly's a little shallow, rather. Not a shadow. Tess says, dancing around. Oh, in with another. They just can't deal with him. They just can't deal with Tessez. Oh, the Keto still can't. He's very, very low. Oh, another tap. But Shush will trade it. That's a Heroic now finding success, now chaining together 2. I'm going to come in with the counter jinx, and I'm going to say this is where they start to pick things back up.
Yeah, it's very important they get back-to-back rounds, right? If you get one when you're getting wrecked like this and then you lose, you're immediately back to pistols, you're broken, especially with that CT money, and Big just continue to reap the rewards. Now at least Heroic have a couple of gun rounds, a little bit of sustenance left in the pocket. But they need to take clean rounds, and that's easier said than done. 4A setup. Quite heavy indeed. The only held by Cadian, who does get spammed or naded or something, tagged up. Ooh, shoot, shush. And you will be handsomely rewarded. But he's not to know. He checks ramp, and Keto could push through at any point. Oh, there it is. The Org wins the fight. And now Heroic can man up, still with a heavy A-side presence.
Tearson, caught on the jump up, doesn't bother him. Refresh on the receiving end of that. Now scoped up, looking into CT. Shush is still inside of this bomb site, primed and ready to go. While this is happening, up through the connector, tabseN rears his head and is shut out by Stown. We still haven't been able to find Shush yet. He's still a mystery man. I don't know where he is. We know he's around here somewhere, but it's just about locating him and dealing with him. Cadian's even holding this crossfire from short, but Stown's rotated away. Shush hasn't heard anything, hasn't seen anything. And so they've lent towards the B bomb site on Heroic. Only one man here. Shush has got to do it all. And Big really are not sold on the fact that this bomb site is clear. They know that Shush was here earlier on. Tizian might be the man to deliver this killing blow. Instead, it's actually Xantares beating them to the punch. Stown, while he does have this T-spawn rotate pretty fast, right, as a result of flanking in through the lower tunnels, it's still going to be relatively late in the round, and he doesn't have much HP to go behind it. Big are even checking for the flank. That is a disaster. And the counter curse works wonders. Big up onto A.
Yeah, everything that could have gone wrong for Heroic there did go wrong, right? Like, they flank B, they set up to watch the B apartments as nothing is heard on A, like you said. They do at least get that info pretty early. Okay, this has to be an A player at this point. And, you know, Shush, who was sat on the site, he was getting wrapped by Palace. If he didn't peek Xantares, he was dead anyway to Tizian, a spot he was not considering. That's why Big were taking so long. They were waiting for Palace to get cleared. Could have been in there after killing Keto. And then Cadian, who has a great position to actually stop anyone swinging in the site, doesn't get anything. Big get the bomb plant, and they go right back to Ramp and Palace. Insult to injury, killing the flank, and not even feeding the AWP. There was no way back in for Heroic in that round after Shush fell. And Big, back on the board, back with a vengeance, 8-2. Feeling a lot more confident right now than they were on Nuke. And I think even the short comeback would have inspired a lot of hope for Big in this series, right? If they got 13-2'd and then just banged out in the second half and they didn't even show up on Nuke, yeah, it would be easy to come into this one a little bit, you know, dismayed, a little bit disappointed. But instead, Big know they can fight up against Heroic. They know they can take this win, and they almost did after an awful first half. So that much is showing through here on this map. They're believing again. And sometimes that's all it takes. That and a lot of hard work. Big 8-2, moving through under. About to get spotted by this con setup.
Yeah, I think something that's very, very true in CS is it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish, right? And with Big, they might have had a terrible start to this series, but thus far, things are looking good. That flash is beautiful. Xantares, they almost get served up to him. There's a counter flash from Tessez. Great work to respond so quickly to a threat that had only just emerged. And now they boost him up to hold on to middle. Mid gets deserted by Big. They leave it in the hands of Tizian to come in on a late lurk to supplement this A play. Boost from Tessez is going to be good to cancel that out. And hopefully, at least what you're hoping for, yeah, I was going to say, is that it frees up Cadian, right? He was holding onto window, watching for any boosts or any com plays. Well, now he's back in CT, and here he can play with Stown. They can play off of one another. The AWP can draw them in for the kill. And then Stown can get away with absolute murder underneath Palace. Instead, Cadian is spammed to death, but nobody's checked for Stown. Keto will trade it out at least. And now into a 2v2. Nade up on the stairs. Good damage to Tessez. The CT rotation from Refresh. It needs to find results, because if it doesn't, this is not looking good. The flash. Oh, brutal. Keto getting away with murder. And Tessez cancelled out right at the very end. 9-2 to Big. And the A play works wonders. Keto, the savior.
Yeah, what an incredible round. Refresh could not have played that round safer. His route earlier, he was up on Cat, he was fighting into mid, he sees two players, he almost repeats. The normal player would have repeated there, but Refresh decides, I don't want to give away a kill in this 5-on-5. He backs out, he gives up middle, boosts his teammate, who eventually gets a kill. And even there in spawn, like, he's playing passive because he doesn't want to be predictable. He doesn't want to just peek out, take a 1v2 and lose it. He wants to hope they walk past him and don't check his position. But Big are so aware, so ready for every trick that Heroic have up their sleeve. In the face for Xantares. Nessus will trade onto the AWP. Still Heroic cordoned out with the site by utility. Ollie on the bench denies any more re-swings. That smoke has a big gap. But it's not a warrior, it's being covered, and the bomb is being planted. Now they start rushing through, and the spray for Xantares is good for 2, traded, but not around for Heroic as Big clean up the kills, 10-2. And hell, Big pulled a near incredible comeback in that first map. Heroic are going to need to one-up it.
But that's why we always say, man, you don't want to miss these big heroic games. You know what I mean? Like this is such an oddity of a series. Big getting blown out the water in the first half on Nuke. Well, then making it very, very close, making a comeback feel possible. And now maybe about to dish that same level of disrespect out to their opponents here on Mirage. Missed shot from Cadian. And is shaken up right now as he darts out through mid into the maws of Tabson. Man advantage reclaimed. Stown looking to turn this back into a 3-on-3. Gets denied. Tessez tagged by the AWP of Searson. And he does have a Molotov as well. If that gets thrown in, that could be the death of Tessez and the opening of this B bomb site. So a lot is hinging on this one fight, this one isolated duel. And with Searson getting that kill, B is ripe for the taking. Stown waiting in this window smoke. He knows that someone's got to step up. Someone's got to do something remarkable. And he tries to be that man, but there's no getting past Tabson. All left onto Refresh. 1 kill in the game so far. He can't find his footing. Finally gets himself a second. But it is all leading towards a save, you imagine.
Why not give it a go, right? Like, build some confidence back, get some kills maybe, but...
He wants... I think is that an AWP?
Yeah,
I think he wants that AWP, but sensing that not entirely free, backs off, gets that fight. Not ready for the second player, and that's going to prove to be pretty crucial. Xantares is just here to rub salt in the wound with the late window peek. And I say that, Refresh has actually dodged him.
Again.
He should be dead this time. Xantares does let him get away, but this is the thing. When Xantares misses, well, then there was another man waiting, wasn't there? And that man's Searson. He's around at ramp, and at this point, Refresh ain't considering ramp. He's thinking they're watching the bomb, but that was never their intention. They were hunting from the moment it was planted. 11 on the board for Big. All the guns taken out of the round for Heroic. Pause called in, and yeah, fair enough.
Crazy to think that if Refresh just went up on Cat after killing the lower player, he could have just defused the bomb, right? Obviously, Xantares probably would have seen him on the cross, but there was a chance with Searson so far out. Even so, not to know. 11-2, and Big are writing the script right now. Heroic are broken. They've got to play for the last round of the half. They've got to play for the, dare I say it, 13-2 versus 12-3. Exactly what they dished out last map. Oh, it hurts to have it come back your way.
Hugo, do we want a more competitive series, or are we fine with this? I can work my magic.
What, in cursing?
Yeah.
I just let it play out how it plays out.
So let it play out?
Yeah. Don't throw any hexes or curses or what have you on this game. Any more than you already have.
Oh, Keto. Catching Refresh, getting aggressive, trying to get stuck in. Slow mid-presence from Big, not leaving anything up to chance. Xantares is even playing anti-flash down towards the connector.
Sweaty.
And that's the thing, they know they're getting given a lot of room here. Right, the pistols are not challenging them past that first peek from Refresh into Palace. Stown trying to hit a timing, with Cadian getting that kill, it does draw some of the attention away from Stown. He had his chance and he's missed the shot. Oh, Shush from ramp will be good for 1, and this is at least causing a lot of chaos to Big. They don't know where they should be looking. They spot 2 in window, and that makes a tremendous amount of difference, because now they at least know that Shush is the only ramp player that exists, and so they're good to deal with him. AWP in the hands of Tessez, Deagle for Stown, and a 2-on-2 where everything is going wrong.
Including the smokes on top of the box. That was supposed to be for the cross. Xantares makes it safely, but this is a weird one. Molly should surely sentence Keto to death. He jumps up inside of the smoke, and they spam it. They don't fall for his silly tricks. Xantares round the back of the box. His Tessez flicks, and he will win the round for Heroic. It should be time. It's going to be close, but I think they've just snuck a third round past the keeper to try and recover this hell of a game. What an eco to win for Heroic. And they even get the AWP. Wow. The realization that Keto jumped in the smoke was great. Did they see him? Ah. Picked out from the sky. And here we go. It's been a costly half. Heroic haven't had the money, but if we remember their first rifle round, they bought the double orb. And now they get to do it again. Boost up to the ladder room. Cadian sends refresh into that position. The execute smokes lining up. You notice the bomb is in Palace. Big. The old fakey coming in again. Sal can confirm, as long as he's not flashed off this angle, that no one's actually pushing into B. They're going under. Tizian trying to sell it. Nade is good into Palace. And Heroic aren't faltering. They aren't moving yet again.
Yeah, these two Palace players that were meant to be the bulk of this push are both so near death. Xantares and Searson fighting to get out onto A, and they at least get this ground. But one nade, one Molotov, anything could spell the demise of one or both of these players. They've got to be careful. They're taking some risks, some calculated risks. They flash CT, but Shush is playing anti. You love to see that. Searson now scoped up into CT is only good for one, leaving all the pressure onto Tizian. Late from his lurk, he's now set up at ramp. The bomb planted out in the open for him, but it's this third man out through connector that could cause him a world of problems. Sorry, the bomb is not planted for him. That's even more problems. Heroic, they get onto 4. Is that enough to save them? Can they pull it back? Or is this big taking us the distance? Find out in just a moment.
I can promise this is ours cause we built for this, pushing buttons, do it quick, push it off and new assist. Oh, yeah, I think we new to this. Pound for pound, break it down. Watch what we gon' do with this. Teamwork got us fluent with. Make y'all look like switches. Gave it everything when we had nothing. Gave it everything when we had nothing. Holding on by a thread, couldn't grab nothing. Since we moved on to a bed.
Hey Future Pros, we are back on Mirage, but this time with a fantastic flash. This is for the CT side to use for mid-window and useful for retaking mid-control. To perform it, line yourself up at this point on the ground. Aim to the right side of this vent along the flaked off pane. Toss the flash and this should hopefully catch an unsuspecting T off guard. Easy kills for you, good luck.
Every fucking time you play me.
I've been running over all the corners of my mind, trying to find a story to believe. And I've been getting sick of how I'm spending all my time searching for a way to find relief. And I can stay inside, go to sleep, but I feel like I need to let go. And I can spin a web of any story that I like, but tonight I wanna make a masterpiece. Stepped out looking like a small fire, half glass and filled with desire. Head down, but I know I can't deny it. Life is fun when you're a liar. I'm just trying to learn from all the things that I've been told. I'm gonna paint a new reality. It doesn't take a lot to turn a person into gold. Yeah, I've been getting good at alchemy. And you can stay inside in the dark, but without it, you never let go. And when you're done with hiding and you wanna
Well, Big were on the back foot over on Nuke. They almost pulled the comeback. Heroic, they're now left in similar territory. 4 rounds at the end of their first half. Their CT side goes kaput, and now we need to see the full comeback if they want to close it in 2. Otherwise, Vertigo might be showing up in this series. We'll have to see if that's the case, if Big will let us go that way. And right now, we're right into it. Waiting in spawn, waiting to see if there's a rush out of the gate here for Heroic. It's not fast, but it is calculated. Sat towards a ramp. Bomb going out, and Xantares taps down. Oh no, oh no. Shush does respond, but that's the bomb spotted. And 2 coming from the palace late as Xantares peels off of the balcony. Oh, Cadian's selling a B fake. That might draw rotations. Look at these players moving. Only Xantares is still here, and he's got a lot to do on his own.
Yeah, the bomb is now going back into the apartment, so it's a bit of a weird one. That's because Cadian's got all this room over at B, but that's where the rotations are.
It's just so weird.
And so Cadian's now dead, and the man that was in B is dead, and the man that was A is dead, and so Shush is
dead,
alone, and in a 1v3. But we've had making messes with Tesses, now we're turning them to mush with Shush. In this filmed in front of a live studio audience. Here it is, 1v3, all the odds stacked against him. They're moving in. Oh, that's nice. But can he get any more? That's the end of it. Round's over. Keto wrecks him, and Bigger on to 12.
That pistol made no sense for anyone.
It was a horrible, horrible time.
I like the idea is, you know, you're just trying to fake out with one player, and then you're playing the double mind game of like, haha, I'm just one guy. The bomb's not joining me. The bomb's not joining me. Cadian's trying to stay alive. He dies to Cat. Then the bomb is joining him, but he's already dead at that point. You've lost B. Then your A player commits, hoping to draw them back out of B, and he dies. I mean, yeah, you need more kills if that's going to work. You need your solo players to frag out. Cadian tries his best, but his team are not up for the task. AK's in round number 2. Who won the pistol? Put your guesses in now. I can barely tell. 3 AK-47s with armor handed on over. All right, mate, give us your rifle, and we won't have any trouble.
I'm sure that's what Stown sounds like.
Yeah.
I think I've heard him do an interview talking just like that.
Maybe.
Yeah, so we were 4-12 down, yeah, and Cadian said, right, if we're good, we come back. Did you come back? Of course not. 4-16. Here they are, Stown, opening the roundup. But, quick as it's began, it's all over. Stown, oh, poor guy, gets the opener, gets a second. And a third as well. All right, Stown. All right, mate, let's get this one rolling again. It's down to the 2v2. The bomb's out in the open. It's down trying to do it all. He is the miracle man of Heroic. Tizian's wrapping all the way in through T-spawn, and Cadian's like, Stown, mate, you got this one. I'm just going to leave you to it. So he's over there in mid doing his own thing, but Stown now waits patiently. And while all this silence is falling across the map, Tizian is still flanking in through the palace. Stown will never be ready for this flank. Cadian down in the connector. He's just waiting. He's just still waiting. What's Cadian going to do? What's Stown going to do? Crossing out into the open. Oh, Tizian sees him, but he's missed the timing. Stown's given another chance. Oh, my goodness. He might get into ramp, but there's... Oh, Stown with the turn. And it's down to the 1v2. Xantares wondering where this went wrong. Stown might have made it possible. There is a reason that you give him the rifle. Xantares one tag away from death, and Cadian's not giving him the fight. Cadian is just waiting, doing what he's done all damn round. And there he is getting dropped, but it doesn't matter because Stown's already done enough. 4 in the round, single-handedly the man to open it up, secure the bomb site, plant the bomb, and put 5 on the board for Heroic.
I thought you said it was a 16-4, Harry. This is only just beginning. What a round for Stown. That is some incredible talent. I don't even know how he does this. These 3 kills in such quick succession. And then this, surviving the drop, the 180 turn back to the SMG. Just a bit of audio, and that's all he needs. And you're going to be kicking yourself if you're big there. Now you've given away back into Heroic. You may have taken pistol, but immediately forced upon a Heroic believing again. That could be the most dangerous part. Orb in round 3 of the half.
If this does lead to a comeback, which we're still a long way away from, this would be the second time in recent memory where a A loss to an eco/force after winning the pistol has potentially cost Big a series. So let's wait and see.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Santarez is quickly restoring a lot of faith here, and he's like, well, not going to happen twice, is it?
Hey, you lose one round, you win another. And if Big trade here, then they're going to be absolutely fine in both senses of the word. But Keto's on his own on an island. Santarez is hunting for kills left, right, and center. They will hear this rotate, though. He's very loud. Shush is a long way away with Cadian's orbs down. He's just trying to make magic happen once again on this site, dodging the flash. Everyone coming from CT. Tizian could go jungle late, but he doesn't know what lurks on the other side of that murder hole. Maybe murder, maybe not. Antares moving in.
They saw him.
And it done a lot of damage. The AWP is coming back on ramp. But at this point, Big are already set up in spawn, ready and waiting. They would love a flash, but it's on Tizian a long way away. He can stop this cross instead. They're going to smoke him off towards connector. Molly on jungle. There's a kill with the AWP. But actually getting out from that position is Tizian, and he can now still put a stop to this round.
Oh, there's the swings down, getting pincered. And Santarez there with 4 of his own to claim a 13th for Big. The immediate victory, the immediate bounce back coming from Santarez. 25 kills deep into this second half. He's having a whale of a time.
Yeah, that wallbang even onto Stout. He sees the head, he spams him to like 50 health through triple. And Tizian hits that perfect timing as well, coming up onto the stairs, not mollied in jungle for long. Heroic, yeah, it's a B play, nothing about it. Oh, it's a big nade. Doesn't do too badly. Oh, shush, just throw the flash and run, get out of there. Out of the nades and into the firing line instead, but they have at least got that first kill. The lineup, almost gets 2. Bomb dropped, that'll do. Santarez just trying to stay standing. He kills down through the bench, and now it is on Cadian in a 1-on-3. That's a great D shot, but there's many more pushing in. Keto kills him, and Big remain in this series. 14-5, they are not giving the comeback away today.
Yeah, it's looking a little done for Heroic, right? At least here on this map. Vertigo is the 3rd. And it looks like we might get there. Heroic, they're playing for a 10 consecutive round overtime comeback. Just investing lightly in pistols here. Not a hope in hell in a round like this. Tabson with the lower tunnels peak gets 2 freebies. And now Keto spots these players getting out. It's not the cleanest of kills, and he does get glocked out of the round, but not a problem yet, and not a problem at all. Tessa's going to get the bomb plot, but that is the only victory here for the side of Heroic. 15 to Big's name, 10 in a row needed. And at least one very good buy to try and get this going. But even once you get the first, like, you know, it's going to be a grind to break the money of Big. And then once you have, you need to keep finding success. And you can't afford to even, in one round, if Santarez gets 4, that's it, it's done. Whoop. All over. Never mind.
Yeah, you can play at your very best, but it still really doesn't do anything if Big show up. And boy, have they showed up in this map. Santarez nearing 30 kills. Let's see what this one full buy on the T side will do for Heroic. Last time their AKs was them almost, you know, stealing a comeback, finding that second round off of Stout only. Tessa is tagged. D doesn't do it, but jumping is dangerous, and the nade will track him down. Keto flashed out, pushed through the smoke from Palace, and now Heroic flood into the A site.
Yeah, not as plain sailing as Big would have hoped for. This bomb plant's going to come in. Through the smoke, Searson's found, and now another one blooms in its place. So suddenly Con is re-smoked, trying to push in his Tabson. He's good for the first, but they're all around him. They're up on the stairs, and it's refresh to steal the kill away. Cadian takes the fight to them, and now Santarez left in the 1v2. Is he going to try it?
Why not?
Santarez, this is the kind of mental stuff that he would like to give a go. He's considering it. This is what I say. Into the crosshair he goes. Never mind, I was going to say, Santarez gets 4. It's all over, but he doesn't. Only 2 in that round there.
Only 2?
Only 2, 30 kills deep?
Come on. Yeah, really nice try. But Refresh comes alive. He had 5 kills and picking up 3 in this one as well. So short recovery from him. How long will it last? So that's always the question on a comeback against 15. Feels so unrealistic, so undoable. But Heroic, I mean, fear's out of the window at this point. They were playing very loose, like pushing smokes, getting aggressive, Cadian hunting kills. At this point, you know, it's almost expected that this game is lost. And so Heroic can play with a certain gravitas that they couldn't once they were neck and neck. He stacked for big. It's a gamble play, and with Heroic walking out ramp right now, they should be able to work this one out pretty soon. Another nade. This time less successful. Oh! Stal saw the trajectory. He knew where that was coming from, and he does some damage, but also receives some. In the meantime, A has been taken, and the bomb wrapping back from mid into ramp should be securing the round here for Heroic.
There's still 2 in top mid. Tizian is about to learn that the really rough way. Oh, they both looked away. Now, Tessis has like dealt with everyone in this site. We don't have to worry about the defuse, but there was a chance for Tizian to get a little double there. Unfortunately, he doesn't expect the second man, and I mean, why would you?
Hello.
Seriously, you don't have a kit. But Tessis,
I like
just
that.
Too quick, man.
He's hoping they leave before, you know, the 10-second music starts, and maybe he can just jump on it. I mean, they would surely hear that. Plenty. Nothing else to do. Big are just waiting for the guns, and here they are, coming in full force. Orb in the hands of Searson. Window smoke in for Tess's. And the ramp boost as well to kill with this orb. Oh, if he took a shot off the flash, he would have had it. Instead, is Keto killing the bottom of the boost, turning away, and the orb is trying to hunt him down, but Keto will fire shots to the face instead. Eats a bullet, but lives to tell the tale. And he might be unraveling this book of Heroic here on Mirage. 5 on 3, just got to push it over the line now. Is it inevitable, or can Heroic do or say anything about this?
Well, Tizian's had a bit of a quiet game, and he's the one man inside of this B bomb site, so maybe there's a chance. But Tabson has just rotated in to help his mate out. And there they are, the 1-2 punch of Tabson and Tizian dropping the bomb, and with it, any hopes down. It's another one of these rounds where we need him to get 4, or else this time, much worse repercussions for Heroic. They will be locking in that third map, going to Vertigo on the side of Big. It's down now that he's been spotted. Everyone just groups up and looks to play this bomb. Flashing a CT and Searson. Oh, also taken off the angle. 40 seconds down. 40 seconds to do the impossible. Not just have it happen once, but twice. As now he moves in through the market. And Big, they're just not giving him fights. They're running away. They know that this game is won or lost around that bomb, and so they're doing everything in their power to just waste time. And for Stown, time is of the essence. He's got 20 seconds. He's got 900 angles to clear. He's got to run at the speed of light, and to do that, he's got to be loud getting into these apartments. So Big, they'll know all about this. They are just playing this perfectly, playing around the bomb, not giving him the peak. They're going to swing it together, and there it is. Big, 16-7. They lock in a third map. This game is going the distance. Join us for the high heights of Vertigo in just a minute.
If you don't make the playoffs, this Pro League, I don't think we will do any roster changes because we are like 5 friends and we knew what we are capable of. We showed it last year that we can reach top 1. We just have to work on ourselves then, and our work ethic is still really good. We work hard, we practice really hard every day, so maybe we have some self-confident issues, or I don't know then what went wrong. If we don't do it to the playoffs, we just have to see. We have just to look out, and yeah, but it's hard to say. I really don't like roster changes. I really like all of my teammates. I think we also really like each other. But yeah, I don't think so, and I don't hope so.
Hey Future Pros, today I'll be showing you how to take B stairs control on Vertigo. I would avoid doing this execute early in the round as a T-rush could definitely catch you off guard. So instead use this sometimes in the mid-round to keep the Ts away from B. To do this execute you will need 2 Future Pros along with 2 smokes, 2 incendiaries and a flash. Future Pro number 1, you'll be throwing the initial smoke followed by an incendiary and a flash. To throw your smoke, take a quick peek to see if any Ts are on the stairs, then position yourself so the corner of the back wall lines up with the edge of the metal block next to you. Then aim along the bottom of the window off to the left side and throw the smoke. This will block off the B entrance entirely. After this, move back a few steps, aim about 10% up the girder on the left side and walking throw your incendiary immediately. This will deny access to the area below the stairs. Finally your flash. This time aim to the middle of the girders and simply walk through the flash. In this example the flash lands a bit too high, but you can solve this by aiming just a bit lower than the one shown here. This flash should blind anyone who is foolish enough to stick around. Future Pro number 2, you'll be throwing the stairs incendiary along with a delayed smoke. To throw your incendiary, step back from the edge of this wall, aim loosely below the line across the back wall, and running through the incendiary. This will land at the box and also cover some of the stairs too. Couple with Future Pro 1's incendiary and almost all the ground will be covered in fire. After you have cleared stairs with your teammate, head back to where Future Pro 1 threw their nades from and throw this same smoke that was thrown at the start of the execute. This smoke will block up the Ts for even longer and will allow you to take a more advanced position down the stairs. This should buy you some time if the Ts were planning a B attack and possibly grant you a frag if any Ts stick around to fight your execute.
Well, that novel that Hugo was talking about on cast has turned into a trilogy. Big able to take Mirage and take us over to our 3rd and final map here of the series over on Vertigo. Still Jason Kaplan, still Pimp here to help break down everything that went down in the last map. And we got to start off by talking about a certain player in particular. Xantares putting up 30 kills in that map was fantastic.
He was doing a good job. Big Clan were looking much more comfortable. They were looking in control. I think Heroic was surprised by the individual level showing up by Xantares, of course. Also, the rest of the guys had some good moments. The pace coming out from Big Clan in the first half, I really, really liked. They were putting the guys on the foot pedal. They were pushing Heroic, and they were not giving them too much time to breathe and refresh, too much time to think. We talked about refresh as well, having a fantastic first map, struggling a lot on the CT side. Couldn't really get anything done. And I think that was a direct consequence of the way Big approached this game by really playing fast Counter-Strike, explosive Counter-Strike, and playing together as a Wolfpack, or in that Wolfpack mentality. Overall, very, very impressed by Big Clan. Good response after a poor first map.
Yeah, and just to quickly hit on Refresh, I don't want to hit on it too much because obviously really shoddy performance. 4 kills in the first half for him, but then again, it was a very heavy stacked result in the half anyways against them. But it is interesting to see that he goes from being the top fragger in the last map of Nuke then to being the bottom fragger on Mirage.
Yeah, and I think that's what we can expect from Refresh, that he's going to be a little bit inconsistent in the beginning. Again, we're talking transition period. We're talking about him finding his footing within the lineup. So for him to be a little bit inconsistent to begin with is probably what we can expect. So again, I wouldn't be too worried about it, but of course it wasn't a good performance.
Yeah, but then again, like we were talking about just before, for Xantares having a phenomenal performance. Like I said, dropping 30 kills. We're going to take a look at some of his stats now so you guys get an idea of what he's been able to pull out. 30 kills and 13 deaths. And that ADR, you talk about the X factor, that can't get any more X for me.
That's a lot of damage he's doing. He was good in the clutches as well with the pistol. You see a lot of highlights coming in from Xantares. And again, a very proactive Counter-Strike player. A player that likes to move around. A player that is not hawking a wall, holding an angle and waiting for someone to run into his crosshair. He's out there. He's being proactive with the movement. He's seeking the duels. And he's one hell of a player when he's playing at this level. There's a cool storyline surrounding Xantares, right? That many people do believe that he has one of the best aims in the entirety of Counter-Strike, and I tend to agree with it, but it doesn't always translate so well to the server. Well, on a map like Mirage, very open, very duel-based, we get to see the absolute best of Xantares, and it's always a joy for that.
Well, I've actually also heard from some other people that you have probably some of the best aim in Counter-Strike as well. I've seen it over on your stream, dropping 40+ kills every single time you play. But yeah, obviously Xantares, I mean, it's still interesting to me to see a player who kind of struggles in one map, move on to another map, and drop that amount of kills. I don't know if it's confidence, if it's comfortability of the map they're playing on, or maybe just kind of like a mental reset of, okay, let's just get back into this, forget about what happened.
A little bit of everything. Maybe a bit of the fact that the profile he is as well. He is very explosive. He's a great aimer, but maybe the way he plays Counter-Strike is volatile in the sense that you can't always be consistent with it, right? You will have games where you drop 124 ADR when you're the X factor on a server. And like with Refresh, you will have games where sometimes you're just not hitting the duels or you're not getting the duels you seek because you're facing a well-playing team. So for Xantares, he's a fantastic Counter-Strike player. If he can find more consistency, again, he could be the player for Big Clan that could, I guess, push them out of this little crisis they're in.
Well, that crisis, speaking of, there is one thing I want to talk about in particular that we noticed. That like delayed plant that Big went for on the T side, and they had this big rotation, so had Searson sitting inside of Palace, and Xantares flanks in from middle. There's another opportunity where they could have fluffed that and lost around, and we could have seen maybe a different score at the half. But that makes me think back to Nuke yesterday, where they had something go their way that shouldn't have ever happened.
I mean, it's a sign of confidence, you know, that you still play your own version of Counter-Strike. You tend to believe that, okay, this is the right decision to do. It may be a bit risky. You could have fluffed it, as you said. But again, like if you feel you have a play and you don't make the play because you're too afraid of fluffing it or you're too afraid of losing out on it, that's when you lose. Like when you're playing not to win, you're losing out. So for me, it's a great sign that the Big Clan are still playing with some sort of confidence. And as said, if they can replicate the performance we saw here on Mirage coming into Vertigo, Heroic is going to have a big task at their hand.
Yeah, playing to win, not playing to not lose. That's a quote I really like to talk about. Also, I like to talk about Stown as well. That phenomenal 4K that we saw come out of him to really kind of get Heroic potentially back into that map. 24 and 19. We talked about him maybe getting a little bit cold over the course of the last few months. We talked about how, you know, last year he was this big name, he was this big up-and-coming star, and we haven't really seen that rise that we were expecting out of him, but we definitely saw glimmers of it here, I'd say.
We saw glimmers of it. We see what he can do, and this round in particular was a fantastic round by Staven, and I agree. He's a player that if you look towards the lineup of Heroic, and if you think to yourself, okay, Heroic, your ambitions are to be a top 5 team, a top 6 team, or at least up there with the very best. Who do we need to see perform every single time? Staven will be the guy to go to. So yeah, maybe he hasn't been at the same level as he were last year, but he's still one hell of a player, and he's still, I would say, stable in the way he approaches the game. You never see him with 2 or 3 kills, you know, you never see him fall out of the games, but when you see more of that X-Factor ability as well.
2 or 3 kills, I call that the Jason Kaplan special. Moving on into our third map here, Vertigo. I want to hear some thoughts on this. We're going to this one. This is very big for Big in particular, I'd say. Actually, both teams, to be fair. Big don't want to go 0-2. Heroic would love to go 2-0. What's your thoughts?
I mean, it's still early days for Heroic. They played it once so far with this lineup against Cloud9, where they won 16-13. I believe it was a close back and forth game where Cloud9 definitely could have won it, as I remember it. Big Clan, on the other hand, they played it 7 times the past 3 months, and they have a 100% win rate. They win every single time they play Vertigo. They even won 16-2 last time they played it. So if you're Heroic with 2 new players coming into the lineup, you're going to have a big task at your hand. I feel Big Clan, with the stuff they showed me here in Mirage, with Xantares playing at that level, with Tapson, you know, feeling the footing as an in-game lead on the T side, I'm going to lean towards Big Clan on this one.
Well, you know, the big task, the big ask on the hands here, the new players for Heroic. We're going to head to a short break and come back with that final map here of Day 2 of Group A of the ESL Pro League Season 13.
Love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Fnatic looking to fast hit this B bomb site. Brolin's already going through. The flashes are good. Boomich is blind, and Brolin is all over the site.
Okay, okay. We should do boost. We should do boost.
Yeah. I boosted John.
Okay, come. Come.
And I didn't buy kit again.
Anyway, we will kill them insta.
Get flash off.
Disgusting, bro. It's disgusting.
What?
Ah. They did boost, jump, and he one tap you. I don't know.
I have low FPS,
So
but
Molotov
fine.
shot.
I block Monster.
Yep.
I block Monster, lass mich. Ich weiß, wie die spielen.
I will spam them soon. So you guys dead? Outdoor.
So.
It's out.
It's outdoor. Last shot coming. Shot.
Nice.
He's up, he's close.
Where?
No!
Are you kidding me, man?
Go on, John Bay. I bring out the Doomhammer.
Du musst die einmal flashen, dann ist der Execute kaputt. Dann laufen die nicht mehr so, wie sie sollen.
I reload. One outdoor.
Out,
Bridge. On site.
Brother, this is disgusting, really.
ESL Pro League is brought to you by Gaming Malta, Intel, US Air Force, 1xBet, and DHL.
Oh yeah, they give us the music. They give us a nice little epic number to take us in, Hugo. They're pulling out all the stops today. We got Big, take it on Heroic. Vertigo, everyone's favorite map. At least my favorite map, yeah.
That's all that matters, Harry. Let's do it. Heroic Big. This series has been a super exciting one. Going back and forth and back again. Which way will we end it? Big on the T side, and they've got some sweaty smokes to line up and spawn.
Look at this mid creep.
Creepy crawly.
Oh my goodness.
They've got 6 legs between the 3 of them.
Oh no. Oh no. It's gone from bad to worse. It's down and Cadian leaving a hearse. The nades could have done damage to that bomb plant, but it's a little bit delayed from Shush, and he gets a nade right back in response. Much more punishing, much more damaging. Look at Keto all the way through the B site. Oh, Refresh is holding for it though. Keto's now out of the round. This is a very, very weird round as to how this one's shaped up. It's a 3-on-3 retake. And Heroic now lining up these retake smokes. One at the top of ramp. That's going to make it life a lot harder as a post-plant player trying to hold from ramp. Tess says in with the double. This has turned on its head. Tizian does stop the defuse, and stopping the defuse was enough. Getting off the bomb to take that fight loses the round for Heroic. Such a roller coaster of a round. I didn't know who was winning. I still don't really know who won. Hugo, who won that?
Big, mate. Tess has got off the defuse. I mean, he got the kill, right? It feels worth it, but at the same time, you wonder if he didn't get off, would he have had cover? We'll never know, Harry. Also, you talk about the nades. Heroic was set up with 3 pushing mid and 2 with a full set of util to dunk the bomb plant. They line up nades for the plant, and then Shush realizes right before he throws it for default, wait, that's not a default plant. I hear it's on the left. That's why you see that bit of panic. He tries to throw it on the ground, tries to shoot him instead, but it's all too late. Nice for Big to switch up the plant spot to catch off Heroic. Waiting for exactly that. Scout on Cadian tags Antares, who swaps his guns, and Heroic will lose a man early. Wow, everything about that round was super interesting from the retake.
Interesting,
smokes.
yeah.
Yeah, interesting's a word, isn't it? It can mean anything. It can mean good, it can mean awful.
Yeah.
Sometimes it means both. And in this case, Big, they're about to walk into a stack.
They are. But everyone's pushed up here at short. It's a very, very claustrophobic round for Heroic.
Ugh.
They're close to each other. Oh, I don't like it. I don't know who's winning again. I don't like it. Look at Refresh right there. Oh, Tapson can't see it. Tessez is still alive. They don't know about Tessez. You've at least got Tessez. If you're Heroic, you're like, all right, Tessez, come on. We sacrificed a lot of good men, keeping you alive.
Look at the patience, though. Big on rushing the plant. They're like, yeah, you want to give us another fight? Come give it. And smoke on the bomb. Well, you've got no kits. It's not going to save any lives here for Heroic.
Well, that's it. Anticlimactic round. Little short stack. Not the short stop you were hoping for if you're Heroic. Big keeping 5 alive. Getting out of there, building up some money. 2-0 to begin Vertigo. And an eco to follow for Heroic. It's likely going to be this 3-0 lead. This great building block early on to try and construct your T-side from. Ooh, that's nice. It's only 1 Deeg.
Two flashes. What do you do with that? Pop out into A ramp, perhaps. Maybe a mid-choke flash. Try and push it out as spawn. Yep. Seems to be the play. Letting Big get out mid first. Hey, they've got the read. There's players here in numbers. There's the flash, and it's a good one at that. Tapson was tucked. He wasn't blinded. Everyone else was, but they're all the players who get the kills. Tapson just dies for the cause, I guess. Nice, clean anti-eco so far. A little grabbed by Shush, the one man with anything. Bomb's going A, isn't it? It's a big round, whether you like it or not. It's all about whether Shush can get exits or even save his gun.
That's right. With the medium-sized guns, it's a big round. 3-0. Shush. Oh, he thinks Antares, of course. Doesn't get away with the kill. So 3-0. Okay, now things get a bit more exciting again, right? We've had the boring rounds, you know, the anti-force that never feels like it works, apart from when it shouldn't, and then it does. And then we had the full eco, which, yeah, they sometimes get exciting, but even when they win, you're not happy about it because they shouldn't be winning. Now you have the real rounds. Now you have the real Counter-Strike, right? The double AWP coming in. Cadian and Stown both donning them. Utility all across the board. This is what Heroic were salvaging their pocket money for, and they need to have some results already. The tag to Stown, the nade could even finish the job, but he has gotten out of there. Gets ahead of it. Nothing more than glancing blows over at that B bomb site, and instead, now Big, they just set up to take this default early. There's a deep ramp smoke down, which they choose to respect. Searson's desperately peeking over the top of it. This is not an easy shot to hit for Searson. Oh, Tess says, don't give him this peek. Searson would kill for you to give him this peek. So Tess says doesn't. Right decision to make.
One of these orbs still waiting in middle. Cadian has not budged. Will he get given anything? Seems backing out. Tesses in the meantime pushing up on A short. When this smoke fades, he can clear out the A ramp and call for rotates to B. Kito's been waiting here all round long. There's no one on this bomb site. There is no one even remotely close. Cadian has still got to watch middle. Searson backs out. Oh, the boost, it's not a loud one either. No noise is made. Kito jumps up. Any moment can pounce above the wood and take this site. There he goes with the smokes flying in. Cadian going to try and dodge the flashes, peeks off the back of it and takes one. Any more where that came from? They're pushing his gens up on the side and he is not ready for Tizian. As Big take the bomb site with 10 seconds remaining, they plant, and now Heroic have to make that hard call. Do we even want to give this a go? Is it realistic with our current positions? Doesn't look like it. They are falling out of the round. No one on B, a huge gamble, and it does not pay off. We've seen great face out of Big ever since the second half of Nuke. Like, they've not stopped. They've just been commanding victories all across this entire series, ever since that 13-2. You've got to wonder, how would this series have gone if it didn't start that way, right? If Heroic weren't T-side over on Nuke. Big could have banged them out in 2. They were very close to pulling the 13-2 comeback, but just falling at the end, didn't have enough breathing room. NT for Cadian, but getting rushed down, not ready for it. And he needed to either live or do more damage if that were to be a round for Heroic. So they save, they rebuy, they get another AWP at least. Saved by Stown, given to Cadian. A Big, already looking like a change of pace is in order.
Oh, Cadian dodges that flash and is good for the kill. I love that maneuver. Cadian knows that if a B play is coming in, there's always going to be that Skylights flash. So he turns from it ahead of time. Locks in the opener. Kito holding arguably the most horrific angle I think I've ever seen.
I think unarguably.
But he doesn't like what he sees over towards B, and with good reason. Cadian was the only man to offer up any resistance in the round prior, so they bypass him completely. Over here towards A, Tesses and Refresh playing this site side by side. Now, while this is going on, there's a bit of mid-aggression coming through from Stown. He's clearing out middle, and this frees up Shush. If you look on the minimap, he starts to rotate over towards this A bomb site now. So there's 3 players here, plus the potential of a very, very fast mid-flank from Stown in through the ladder room. Searson's holding the back, but how long does he keep that up? Because as this site push is coming in, the kills are not going in favor of Big, and this is going to draw even more attention away from Stown on this backstab. Tizian and Searson left in a 2-on-4. The bomb out in the open. You couldn't have asked for a worse situation here if you're Big. Up through short side, Searson's trying to gain ground with the AWP, but in doing so, he's no longer watching the flank. As the Stown is hot on their heels, up through ramp and ready to put a stop to this A play. They know that Searson's at short, he's made noise, and now he's dead to that flank. 1 on the board for Heroic. They sweep that one aside, and the timings were perfect there from the Danes. You couldn't have picked a better moment to rotate a third man to A, for Stown to embark on that flank. It's a great stuff from the A side players as well to like buy the time in the first place.
Yeah, that was a really slick way of finding an opener for Cadian as well. I've not seen anyone play an AWP on top of the wood there, but pretty punishing position. And now the double AWP is out again for Heroic. Scavenged. Tesses finding the first again above the boxes. Big have to make sure they're looking at the sky right now. Heroic man up and they concede the middle area. They fall on right back with this pick. This time at least not leaving B open and empty, but maybe they wish they had that A stack in this round because Big are moving up in numbers as well. Cadian AWPing close short. Tess is given an AWP, he's low already. Cadian's getting aggressive. Molly pushes him in, and he does not care. He'll get up right in your face and hit the shots. There's one. Tesses joins him. Cadian escapes as a Molly phase, but he almost gets spammed on his retreat. Not quite, though. Back to the site, and Keto through the smoke, only good for one. The nade might be a slam dunk onto Tesses, but it's only Refresh who gets attacked by it. And now Tabson 1-on-4. And not giving him anything. The bomb is loose, and as soon as Stow makes contact, they can start swinging him from the elevator. Stow with his back turn, Tabson almost whiffs, does recover, but the AWP is there, and it was only a matter of time before the repeaks came in. 3 for Tesses and 2 for Heroic, as they finally do one to Big's money. No bomb plant, and any buy here would be weak in most regards. They can get a couple of rifles max, so it might have to be a half buy for Big and wait for the bonus to build.
Yeah, but the winds of change are blowing in this server. You know, Heroic, they're at a point now where they can get back into this. That 4-0 start, a distant memory as the money is broken down for Big. And I think, like you say, they might just take this little partial investment, build up some money. Izzy Tabson's talking it through with the boys, trying to make sure everyone's on the same page here. That's the thing, right? Nuke, thinking back to like the ebbs and flows of this series, great start from Heroic, uncontested in the first half, not even close. And then that second half gets very, very close, very, very uncomfortable. And Heroic struggled to even get a couple of rounds, but...
Do it.
Ooh. You know, then we get on to Mirage, and suddenly it's like Heroic just can't seem to find anything. And you know, they didn't have any way of breaking the streaks that Big were on. Well... Finally, they've started to break streaks, and it took getting to a third map. It took getting to Vertigo. But Big haven't really had to deal with these challenges thus far. Right? Even the ending of Nuke, as we've said, ended up being a game in which it felt like Heroic were about to get comebacked onto. You know, they just couldn't find the rounds needed to close it out. Finally, offering up some resistance. Some players starting to pick up steam. Stow being one of them. Tesses another. And so now we kind of flip the script and we look at Big and we say, well, you know, do they have what it takes to once again come up with solutions? Oh, that's a tag. Tizian through the generator.
Yeah, and I like how Heroic aren't giving this pick ever to Searson on the ramp, right? He's here a lot of the time. So Heroic, honestly, they're fighting back, but they've yet to actually go down a man on the ramp. That's a boost, but Stout is watching for it above default. He knows that it has to be another player there as a result. Yeah, Searson, if you think of Big on this map, you think of Searson doing this, holding on, waiting for you to come his way, or to give you those faces above the smoke. He gets a free kill as Tessus gets aggressive. Is tagged a bit in the process. Big now group. Tabson making sure he's walking to avoid footsteps getting heard by Heroic. You don't want your intentions completely put out there in the open. Cadian has a great position. If they walk up close, though, and they close speak him, he's in a world of hurt. That's why he's got Shush to at least remedy that. To try and trade, to try and keep things equal. Can Cadian find the pick? There it is. Bomb drop. Back for another. And goodbye, Zentaris. Cadian will get headshot, but they're not ready for Shush.
Yeah, it's the ultimate bait and switch, right? You think Cadian's holding an aggro line down at ramp, but in reality, he was the bait. That first guy that you got past, he was meant to die. Well, now Shush has got the round in the palm of his hands, and there it is. 4 on the board. Heroic tie this game up. No money again for Big, so maybe Heroic about to leapfrog them into the lead.
Ever since I said the Big have been smashing, ever since the first half of Nuke.
Did you say it like Nigel Thornberry, though?
No, smashing.
There you go, right?
Yeah,
they've been smashing, right?
They have been smashing. They were doing it 4-0, and now it's 4-4. So the curse is well and truly complete. Let's watch Big win this eco. As they throw the quick short smoke, it's going to be a faster round here for Big, running up A.
Nah, Hugo, I hate to tell you, Big don't win this round. There's no way in hell.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
No. Especially not with the smoke.
No, especially not with the smokes down, right? Because you think, like, it's a smoke, right? What are they going to do, walk through it?
Oh. Exactly.
Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Ooh.
Everything could only go right for Heroic. And here they are showing us that.
Yeah. Calculated, of course. The first kill. Don't get ahead of yourself, Harry. Keto Tizian left in the fray. Nice nade, but not going to change the outcome of the round, you presume. Jumping into the orbs. Another one. And now Tizian left. Oh, the smoke faded. He almost had a chance, but Refresh is very quick to turn around, and Heroic find a 5-4 lead. Only an eco. Big have a full buy now. They can get the open Searson as well. Now, it's all up to Searson to try and find some of these openers here for Big, I think, in some of these rounds, because he's not being given much on the A site. Only time he has is when Tess has pushed aggressive on ramp. He just tried it again on the anti-eco. Don't think we'll see more of that for Heroic, especially with some of these A setups they have. They have great retake smokes. They've been trying to set up nades to stop bomb plants. Heroic have a wealth of game plan up on A. They don't need to be pushing it. Heading in a fight mid, Tizian was wide and ready for it. Shush dropping a molly, and Tizian goes right on through with a double. Lovely stuff. Just taking space, commanding respect, and eating an AWP shot while he does. It will force down off the boost, the molly. Pushing him forward, and all Tizian needs to do is stay alive. It's a constant thorn in Heroic's side. They know at any point they can be split from middle, and so Stown can't watch B for too long. There's a shot, he turns around and somehow hits that flick onto Tizian, but at this point it might even be the save. The bomb site's been lost, and your teammates are so far away.
Oh, Searson's hunting. Doesn't want to give the AWP away, and so he does just about escape. Stown still doing numbers over here in CT.
Oh dear.
And Heroic throwing in a little bit of utility. Is this them gearing up to be like, actually, boys, you know what? They've kind of enticed us into this one. Oh, well, with that kill. Oh, but then Stown's back in with the trade. All right, Heroic. Let's get it. Last minute retake. Oh, Stown ducking down. Oh, is it with the peak? And now it's just one man left standing. And Refresh has nailed it. But there's surely not enough time. I think it's just slipped by. Oh, that was so damn close. So damn good. Stown. You magic man.
Oh.
You magic man.
But not enough. 4. And it's still a big round. Yeah, you can see the clocks or the wheels turning, the gears turning rather, not the clocks.
Clocks are always turning, mate.
Clocks,
slowly. Believe it or not. You keep an eye on them. They will eventually.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. And never anywhere else. Yeah, you see the gears turning when Heroic get that pick of Keto getting aggressive. Then they spot Searson bottom ramp and they go, well, we've actually got a 2-2 inside of the site. We can retake this right now and have the AWP be very far away and also very low. And so that entices Heroic back in. Stown, he hit some unbelievable AWP shots in that round. It's not enough, Harry. It's not a round. It's not a win. It's big, back on the board. And yeah, if Heroic, didn't initially give that up, right, and fall out, maybe they had time, but then on the other side, maybe they didn't get given the kill in spawn, right? Big hunting almost lets Heroic back in. It's a lot of ifs and buts, but ultimately it's a big round. Nice nade.
That's a big nade. Cadian given a chance. Ooh. Helped out by Refresh. Great little 1-2 combo over here in middle. Down. Donning his wizard hat and wizard sleeve, trying to take him down to Pound Town.
Just one sleeve, huh? Not the coat. Or the cape, or what do you call it? The robe.
One sleeve on, one sleeve off. It's the way of the CS kid.
Yeah, how else do you move your hand?
Sleeve on, sleeve off. Here it is. Shush with the double. Make it. Yeah, now the double.
Yeah, you can't wear sleeves while you game, right? They just get in the way, honestly. On the mouse pad. Nice shot. These orbs are the answer right now for Heroic. And they come back in with a beer.
Is that why you've cut all your t-shirts into vests?
Yeah,
like Mac from Always Sunny.
No sleeve at all. Not even over the shoulders, Harry. You've got to really go bare.
Go bare.
Go bare. Or go home.
Well, I don't think that's... yeah, you know, why not?
Lots of reasons, but let's not get into them. 6-5 and more ecos around the corner. Big, that nade was good. They're going to double it up. Cadian, not here. It's down this time. Dodges it mostly. Second one will do a little bit more. Ooh, tucked behind the sandbag. Dangerous position, but luckily Tessa swings in to support. Xantares out. Taps a molly. Uh-oh.
Taps is just
smoke
burning.
it.
Oh, it's like a horrible game of catch that you just don't want to play. You don't want to play. Tapson, move. Tapson, it's not safe there. It's not as safe as you think it is. Oh, there it is. Tessez with the kill. Tapson out. Just Keto. 1v5. Not looking great for him, is it? Deagle out.
You can spam Tessez.
Yeah, you could, but like...
Yeah.
Keto's a realist, right? He knows he's going to spam that wall. Flash comes in. Oh, well, all blind. Out of the round. Round over, mate.
Well, it was worth a shot.
What do you think of that auditory counter-strike?
Yeah, great stuff, Harry. They should hire you to do the game sounds on CSGO 2.
CSGO 2 releasing soon. They took the old one off of the store. Thank God.
I can't confirm or deny. Mainly because I don't know.
They did.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
happening.
Well, yeah, obviously.
CS2.
Well, you leaked it, Harry.
It's called CS Too Much to Handle.
That's already this CS. There's far too much going on. And Refresh, he wants to make it even more claustrophobic. Oh, he's walking the smoke. They have no idea. Can he even see them? Oh, he flicks and kills the bomb. Oh, jumping and praying and spraying, but none of which will get him out of that predicament. It's Xantares with the trade, and Searson already up, waiting for the repeat. He dodges the orb. They both spot each other. And now he's trapped by the Molotov. Luckily, that CT smoke actually bails him out. So he reroutes back on the short side, holding that for his team so they can work the Apex. Tessez not giving them much, and he's above the smoke, so Keto walks to his demise. Cadian v Searson, who will buckle first? Who will move into the crosshair of one another? It doesn't matter. Tessez
with secret option C.
Yeah, all the limelight. Cadian does get impatient, and that will be the punish pick from Xantares, but 2-on-3, and everyone's here for Heroic.
This round has just devolved into madness.
They've left.
Heroic are like, yeah, there's no way it's still A, right? Like, they keep shooting, they're being too loud. Why would this is just dumb if you're this loud, and Big are like, we go A. And they go. Oh, Stown gets deleted. Xantares peaked. And now a bomb plant, a possibility, a real possibility. They tap it. Because the molly's down, you can't plant safe. So that's definitely got the attention of Heroic. They're giving them the respect to get the bomb planted. Well, that proves to be a grave error in judgment. Tizian with the swing, adding another one to the tally. And this was never meant to be a big round, but there it is. Up on the scoreboard, 6-7. Big, they somehow recover. And now we're set up for like a very even half. Now, you know, for Big, it's always going to be a grind. Like, there's a lot of money on Heroic. Guys like Shush, they were approaching 16K not that long ago. Well, he's lost a good bit of his money. Bad investments here and there. But the rest of the gang still sitting on like 10K.
Yeah.
It's a real grind to turn this back in your favor, but now, thanks to that round, not impossible.
Yeah, that's a real unfortunate misread for Heroic. The reason they leave the bomb site there is only Xantares is making noise. He's throwing grenades, he's spamming walls, and it all feels too good to be true. Heroic are thinking, well, there's one player here, the other could be anywhere at this point. They could have walked back down ramp and walked into B with the bomb. Xantares could just be faking right now. We could be getting flanked. All these options whirring in the mind of Heroic, and someone makes that call, and everyone believes it. They leave, they check mid, they check B, but by that point, Big are already up in the site. They get a 2-on-1 for free, and then they get another 2v2, which they willingly close out with the advantage of the bomb. So, yeah, if you know, Heroic never left, probably their round, but the misread, the over-rotate, whatever you want to call it. It gives Big a way back in. Like you said, a good half after all, potentially. Refresh, going again through the smoke. No fear on this man. Tess has been doing it, and Refresh wants to try his hand as well. Shush with a pick, and Refresh just jumps out of there, past the orb. 5 on 3. Give it up now. Chill out. You've got the kills coming to you. You don't need to hunt them down. And more found in middle by Cadian's orb. Leaves Big in a 2 on 5. Oh.
Oh, so many angles. So little time. Xantares losing the bomb, and Cadian mopping up Searson. Sees Heroic reach that 8th round a little later. It is still on the tally.
Yeah, while it's been the undoing of Heroic, I actually kind of like how mobile they are on this map, right? The fact that they are doing things like leaving the B-bomb site completely open and stacking up on A, we've seen it cost them, right? We've seen it, you know, not only in that previous round where they rotate out because they don't have B, but even earlier in the half when they left B open and stacked A and Big just walked in. But what it does mean is you always have your teammates side by side, you always have that trade potential, and when Big go A, they get torn to shreds rather than just have a player left at the B side doing nothing. This is a rush, and they've got everyone here. The footsteps give all the info to Heroic, and all the kills come following in. 9-6 at the end of the half. A damn good showing. The money lifts them up, and can they shut it down? The end of the series continues in just a moment.
We could smile when shit's rough. Change our reactions.
Feelings don't die around this neighborhood. We used to sell a double pills, young and misunderstood. My homie, tell me what is changing from your point of view. A smaller circle, but the range is still some deja vu. I recognize my future, and there is nothing with you. Unless you turn your boat around, success might come recruit you. But unless you analyze in depth that we're steps away from death, 1,000 possibilities, act on it, Johnny Depp. For real.
Cause we're lonesome towns, trying to know what father brought us down to here. I don't wanna be stuck.
The cyber athletes are in the server and their keyboard fingers are pressing hard. We're ready and raring to go as these E-Kings take to the battlefield once again, Hugo.
Yeah, virtual battlefield of vertigo as we get into the finale.
We tied it all in.
Yeah, best of 3. Going the distance, and then some more. Here we are, second half, last half of regulation at least. And creepy coolly goes Tessus up the top of ramp with a pick. Searson never ready for him to be that close. And look at the mini-map, look at those rotates. Big are running towards that A site. But then they stop. It's gone awfully quiet, lads. Heroic even here. They only saw one man and one man alone. But now joined by a bunch of merry men. Heroic set up this execute, and I use that word tenuously as it relies on one flashbang. And JK, it's not A.
Yeah, the E major has instructed his E minors to go back and rejoin him as he creates this
orchestra.
Like he conducts this orchestra towards the B bomb site. Wow.
JK,
it's actually back to A because this is what we can expect, and here it is. The A play that we've all expected. Xantares over at short. Very not ready for the peak from refresh. And now a second man takes to the stand. It's Tabson trying to keep the dream alive, but the bomb's already going nowhere fast as it's dropped by Tizian. And now back into the site. Tesses trying to put in the numbers, and it's hanging in the balance, but he does get it down. And that's why we say you've got to watch out for Tesses, because now he's got the bomb plotting, and now it's anyone's guess what this guy's going to do. Tabson up close to the ramp. His E-brows sweating as the push is in from Shush at the sandbags. There's the trade, and Tabson, so often good in these moments, so often prepared. But is he ready to go up against Tesses? No, I don't think so. It's the round for Heroic. There we go, Hugo. What do you think of that?
That was like a Rick and Morty.
Yeah, well,
that was
thank
fantastic.
you. 10 on the board for Heroic. They did it.
Wow, that was you should cast every game like that. Honestly, I think you killed it. Wow, how do we pick up from that? 10-6, and yeah, Heroic with a single, double, triple fake. Go A, go B, go A again, and they win it. So fantastic stuff, scary stuff even. And now big, buying big. As the name would suggest, we got some guns, some Deeg, some armor. And they're going for A ramp peaks. Molly down. They don't care. They're going to peek right up.
I mean, the old saying is go big or go home. And there's Xantares selecting the latter of those options. Going home. Back to the lobby.
Spawn.
Just watching his teammates now as they try to navigate this round. But where are Heroic going? That's the game here, right? Yeah. Where are Heroic going? Do Heroic know where they are going? Because right now they're outside of B, but with 1:15 left, there's a whole minute left to play with in terms of faking A, going B, faking B, going back to A. So let's see where this ends up.
Yeah, there's only one man here. Another in the connector. Keto can drop the smoke, and that can be quite a problem at the top of the stairs. Forget the smoke. He's got the shot. Tessus trades. But low HP, may as well go A. Hey, Cadian's still here with the bomb. Might want to reconsider as he runs away, walking. Eventually, Searson scouting. Oh no, he doesn't check right. And look who's right. It's Refresh creeping, crawling, and everything in between. Boom! Pops out the head of Refresh, and he gets the shot as well. Now B push coming in, and Tessus has his knife out, luckily covered by Cadian, but they'll never be ready for Tizian, who gets one. And Cadian goes, nah, mate, I've got the bomb. I'm out of here. Is that even a wallbang?
It is. It is. It is.
Never seen it. Very cool stuff.
I saw someone who was cheating the other day in MM doing it. So that's how...
Yeah, you learn the best.
That's how I found out that was wallbangable.
You learn the best wallbangs from cheaters. They know everything.
He just started shooting through it, and everyone died. And I was like, well, didn't know that was a thing. And yeah.
Cool little spray, but it won't change anything. It's still Cadian, with his backpack on, running. One strap, obviously. Cool guy, Cadian. Making his way to that A site, and bomb planted for Heroic. 11-6. Tizian will save. Yeah, I mean, there's some bonkers wallbangs on this map. You can still wallbang to where Tizian is through the elevators from A. It requires a more specific lineup than it used to. Got to hit that headshot or it's going to do nothing. And Tizian, very close to death, but... Ooh! Calculated, all under control. 11-6. Big still have to eco around this one gun. Tizian drops his Deeg. Yeah, to Xantara, smart decision. And Heroic, they have built the foundations of this T side now, already winning the half on the CT side and adding in a pistol. Well, this is pandemonium for Big. This is going to be requiring one hell of a comeback once we come to guns.
Oh, Tizian with a good timing here.
Hello.
Into the tunnels, in through the back line as Heroic is stacking up to make this B play happen. Oh, Tizian. Tizian, you could do it to them as long as you hit a good timing here. And timing really is everything for Tizian. Noise made yet, but now Stown is holding on to the back line.
Oh, that was the kill that needed to happen if this round were to be interesting. Now, it falls by the wayside. Nice kill from Xantara as a Deagle spam, but he can't get the AK out of there alive, and Cadian will salvage one. Yoinking Deagles as he goes. 12-6. This is it. Do or die for Big. This is what this entire last 3 hours, or even longer, have led up to. Winning this round and starting to build upon it. That, or it's back to the drawing boards. Back to an 0-2 in the group for the top seed. Not what they would want. Big fell to OG yesterday. And Heroic might have their number.
Keo's over here alone in B, and he's had a pretty rough game so far. So a confidence-boosting round might be in order. And even more so than that, just anything to buy some time, because the rotates are coming in very, very quick. But oh, Keo, oh, Tessez has absolutely blindsided them. Hey. That's it, that's the save. Big, get out of B. It's not yours, it's Tessez's. Oh, saying that.
Go hunt, refresh, take the gun.
Yeah, refresh, go get him. Heroic are playing it pretty safe, though, and they want to build up some money. You understand why they're not committing loads to this, but they are going to have a little gander, little adventure. Xantares trying to get away with the M4. Oh, no, Xantares.
Trap.
Pincered. Leaves it all on Searson to hold on to this AWP. AW.
Oh, the leg. Oh, nice shot. He gets out of there alive.
Oh.
Cadian comes flying in from the ceiling.
Talk about threading the needle, man.
Yeah, had to hit it. So he did. I'm yet to see anyone in a pro game, try and save by dropping below the elevator shafts. You can't survive down there. I guess it would be a bug. But, hey, still hasn't been patched. I recommend finding out how to do that.
Yeah, but Hugo, you know what happened last time a bug didn't get patched and people started using it? You know what happened then, right? So maybe...
More a pixel walk than a bug,
no,
I guess. But whatever you want to call it. Whatever terminology. Let's just maybe stay away from it. 13-6. And Searson's got the AWP saved around a bunch of pistols. He's got a peek ramp. Ooh, yeah, there's one. And if they start feeding him solo dolo, one by one, that's exactly what Searson wants. Oh, they're in the smoke. They're going to come right through. He's got a lineup. He's got a one-way perhaps, but he's got to do a lot more with this AWP. 2 kills will do. He's set his team up for success. Can they push it over the line?
If you're Heroic as well, you're in a bit of a dilemma, right? You've only seen the AWP. You don't really know what Big are bringing into this round. They have force bought or partial bought around the AWP. And so leaving A means giving up all of these guns for players to go ahead and grab and use against you later on in the retake. So you're in a bit of a dilemma where you're kind of hoping that Big give you something to play with in this round. That's why we have Cadian just holding on to these lower tunnels, right? He's hoping that someone from Big embarks on one of these flanks, and they are not doing that. So with Heroic pressuring this A bomb site with 2 remaining players, they're in huge danger of just getting collapsed onto, and that is exactly what happens. Tizian drops the bomb, and with it the AWP as well, and now it is just Cadian left. Does deal with Tabson, and almost the follow-up. up. But almost is not good enough. 7 on the board for Big. They make that partial buy around Searson's AWP work, and with it, they find round number 7.
Yeah, Searson, huge credit to him, right? Actually getting out with 2 in such a uncomfortable spot, right? They're pushing him close up top. He's dropping smokes. He doesn't even know they're there. And then just finds another. Really lines his team up for a win. And Big, they need everything they can get. The rifle round couldn't do it. And to the half by Will. Now down to another gun round. We got Searson peeking B, flashed off, doesn't take the shot, doesn't want to give away the AWP. Show Heroic what they're walking into. He'd rather let them tempt fate. Nice grenade for Keto. That is a lot of damage. Oof. Flash peek in, Keto gets obliterated, and now Searson running back for the double, collapsing them in the sight, still 2 for 1 as the trade comes in, but he may have done just enough. Tizian caught switching nades, getting hunted and getting cleaned up by Shush. The nade on plant will do nothing with Katie and Wide, but he can't kill the comp player. He'll leave that to Shush, who's now trapped in the corner. Should be cleared, he is, and now a 2v2 that might be retakeable after all. Cadian says no, and Xantares needs to do something unbelievable to keep this game going, to keep this round intact. Jiggling left, right, good night. It's Cadian with a shot, and Heroic, they do pick it up despite the collateral off of Searson's AWP. Heroic 14-7. Oh dear.
If you wanted to take like a really unorthodox buy, Keto could like drop 2 M4s into play.
And play eco. I mean, it's 4 kills, so maybe.
Right, and I never like those decisions where it's like, you know, someone who is struggling does that, but it would be like the ultimate sacrifice, right? You give your guns over to your team, you say, you know what, guys, I'm having a bit of a mare here. Oh, we get the emotional music.
Careful. Hold it back.
Slow it down a little bit. Oh, I'm gonna cry, gonna tear up. I promised I wouldn't, Hugo, but it's gonna happen. 14-7, Heroic, man. They've just come so far. They've just come so far. They were losing this game when it started, and now they're winning. They're so close to winning. Our boys.
This will be the 4th BO3 win in a row for Heroic since they added these 2 new players, since they swapped out some of the core. And so 4 matches in a row against decent teams, you know? This is pretty impressive stuff if they can get it over the line. Big, not what they wanted coming into this season of Pro League. Losing this, as I said earlier, will put them 0-2 in the group. One of the teams, honestly, that look like a shoo-in to go through. Number 7 in the world, number 1 in the group, and right now yet to field much of a win. This has got to be it. Keto dropped the AWP. Cadian's got his for the pick, but he will not connect the shot. Searson, he had a very bad T-side. He wasn't being given anything by Heroic on that A ramp where he often is fed. But now on the CT side, he's had multi-kill after multi-kill, 2K after 2K. Tizian burnt out after 1. Could not escape if he tried, and boy, did he try. Taps in on the boost, and he sees legs. Lovely. Yoinks him. Now Heroic go back to A, where Searson has sat all round long. Molly's the corner that could have been taken with the smoke up, but there's no one there. And so Searson sits in wait. Very fast on his feet, very fast with the AWP, and he'll need to be. That's a tag to Tesses, for crying out loud. Searson wants more of that, but he'll have to give it up eventually. 4-on-3, don't feed the beast, and just wait for the rotate.
Cadian, got to do something special with this AWP. That flash is going to ruin him, and he can't turn from it in time, but somehow Tesses has bailed him out. Now, Tesses does die to the nade, but he's given Heroic a bit more of a chance. I don't know how he gets away with it, but he does get away with it. 2-on-3, both low. I say low, right? Refresh is all right looking, but Cadian looking worse for wear. Up 3 ramp they go. Double smokes down. The bomb is going back to B. Cadian's hit them with a bit of a vintage late lurk. The double smokes down. Refresh making noise. Trying to go through. Now there is this 1 rotation already at B. The Refresh has gotten through the backline. He does get caught by Keto. However, this bomb can still go down. Keto jumping over, trying to deny it. Oh, he's missed it. And now Cadian's given a tiny, tiny chance. 1v3, and Keto's there to cancel it out. Oh boy, it was close. But 8 on the board for Big.
Do we remember that first half round where Heroic had a 3-on-2 and they rotate out? That was the exact reason, and you can see the thinking there as to why they left in that CT round and lost the round on A. The big never left was exactly that call there. Cadian leaving and going back to B to leave Refresh to sell the fake. It almost worked. It almost worked. If Refresh gets that kill, if he's gun out, and actually manages to find the frag on the rotate after realizing that, oh wait, Big aren't in the site. They have started leaving. They had started running B. I've got to get a kill. Refresh makes a ballsy play, jumping through the smoke, knife out. If he had that kill, maybe it's around for Heroic. I love the attempt. It gets him a bomb plant at least. That will force a rebuy, but Big still in this one, finding an 8th. Not faltering to the fake. And Kito's even got a second AWP in play as well. That's worth noting. Might be left to solo B now, right? In many of these rounds, it's been Searson and Kito holding down that B site. Searson that does rotate a lot. He's very mobile on the CT side. We'll see him on A ramp as a standard setup. Well, now with Kito with an AWP here, he can solo B if he wants. Still joined by Tizian, but we'll see if that remains. Out of spawn it certainly will, because Heroic have set their sights on B. With the smoke down, they hesitate and walk back to A. It's all too familiar territory for Heroic, back and forth, seeing which site treats them best. But I'm not sure it's going to be the one with Searson and Xantares on. That might be quite difficult. That one-way smoke going down. They can try and fight up the ramp or short if they can get in. Tess gets tagged on the peak, and Searson doesn't want to give a pick over to the smoke, so he backs up, and Xantares waits. There's no Molotov for this position. No one's checked it. Xantares lines them up, and he drops the bomb as well, dodging the headshots between the gap, and just waiting patiently, finally overwhelmed. But he's done his work, he's done his job, and Heroic now have to pick up the pieces of this round.
Yeah, it's not looking good for them, at least not here, not now. Shush up through the ramp, loses Tess as it's short, and he follows shortly thereafter. 9 on the board for Big, still in with a chance. Another one of these late attempts at the comeback. Maybe it's doable. The money now broken for Heroic, a chance at 10 in a pretty low-risk round for Big. Anyone's game. That's kind of how it feels. Heroic might have this advantage, right? But Big are getting closer. The one thing that still worries me is this B hold. It's been very, very shaky at the best of times. Kito actually donning the second AWP as well. That's interesting. Curious to see how that pans out when Heroic have got one in their hands. Double run boost just to cause some commotion, but they don't check for Xantares, and so it's nice. It's very, very clean. All 5 in a matter of seconds. So now we get 10 to 14.
And now it gets worrying, because Big are building money. They're taking clean rounds. Heroic are, scraping by. Not exactly getting bomb plants on lost rounds in many of these occasions. So no AWP here either. Cadian's got an AK with a couple of bits of util. And yeah, this double AWP that is still remaining, still yet to be seen. Kito has not been spotted with his. Heroic going to give it a go. Tizian dodging flashes, turns back, but with this smoke dropped early like he has been doing, Heroic have been hard-pressed to push through. With a molly, you'll smoke it, and you'll run it, and you'll take B fast, but with the smoke, that's their only play. Sneak through or wait it out. They've been waiting it out in many rounds. This time they tried the sneak, and it's punished. Tizian, oh, he looks away from his teammate's flash, and Cadian peeks at the perfect time. That's a trade that you'll take if you're Heroic, but you don't have much to play with in terms of utility nor weaponry. Or they've used one of their 2 smokes to put out the molly. They're going to boost up on the wood as well. This could catch Kito off guard. He's going to move back just in case and keep his eyes on that one. Sometimes models glitch through the wall, not today. Or even boosting back on the right side. Oh, there's the model glitching through. The barrel shows on the wood and he hits the tag. Stown gets put down low as well as Refresh. He takes a bit of a fight into B and does succeed. It's a weird, weird round with very low health and no utility to play with. Tess' his mid-lug will be coming in late. He's in no hurry. And he hears 2 on B right now. That might entice Heroic back into this A site, but they want to fake it out. They're going to use this mid-room that Tess has granted them to get further and further forward.
Oh, Searson's coming back to Elevator, and Zantares is here to deny that fast push from Tesses. Now rotating back to A, though. Bit of a misread here from Big. They gamble stack the A bomb site on the back of seeing this mid player, and Keto now dead at the back of B, just about locked in by Cadian. Down and Refresh, both low. This Molotov on Zantares could be huge. Before that, he's got to get past Cadian, who's playing up close. Tucked in at coldzera, waiting and ready. Stown holding with the AWP. The battle not done yet for Big. They've got to get through this first line of defense, and they can't. Stown has cracked Zantares out of the round, leaving it all on Searson. Up close, missed flick. There's the peek from Cadian. The molly denies the chase at least, and Refresh burns to death, so they should be good to get away with the AWP. But that is a very small victory. They give up 15. Heroic match and series point.
Yeah, it's not like money was the issue for Big, right? They're not going to be celebrating over a save, but what a juke from Heroic. They get out mid, they get so much room, Zantares clears it, but due to how late Heroic are coming up mid, because they just left B, Zantares only sees one, and with that, gets the kill, thinks it's an A split, and rotates out of the site, leaving Keto alone, who just gets, sidelined there. It was almost a whiff for Cadian, with the model barely being able to be seen. He took the kill, and with Keto, again, still struggling. 6 kills to his name. B was free. Heroic 15-10. Run boost. All right, Big. Oh, they messed it up. It doesn't happen. It doesn't go through. Maybe a different boost instead. What are they doing here? Lining up nades, ollieing the short side. Orbs pushed up, and Tess is put down. Heroic, they see the AWP, they might just leave A again. They've been so keen to rotate away from Searson wherever he has been. Stown's looking for a B pick. Keto playing as safe as he can, given the circumstances. Good grenades from Big. That's never been the problem, though. Ooh. That's a lovely nade. Oh no, if Keto pushes, Tizian's pushing. Ooh. This is a very slow round where Heroic aren't getting given much. They are still trying to clear out short. They have a molly for this, but it's on B, so worst case scenario. Stown does get a B pick, and they're going to use that to try and accelerate that A pace. Molly dropped by Searson. AWP is trapped. He's going to hunt down Cadian, but he can't hit the shot. How are these players still standing? Keto will keep B in good standing, and now Heroic have to commit. They've got nothing else.
Yeah, the smokes go in. Zantares going to drop one ahead of it. Try and play around this this smoke wall that he's created alongside theirs, but it does lead to Searson getting kind of baited out over at short side. Didn't know they could be so deep within the site. And Zantares' own smoke denies his Molotov to stop this bomb plant. That could be the disaster that gives this game away. Zantares has caused himself some problems here. Now he's got to try and be the savior, and he can't. It's Keto, 1v2, left to try and do it. A missed shot from Cadian gives him a tiny bit more room, but he doesn't miss it the second time around. Heroic, they are the victors. A long slog of a series, back and forth, but in the end, the Danes, they take the crown.
Cadian is one of the most recognizable faces, not only when it comes to Danish, but also global CSGO. Known not only for leading Heroic, but also for how he celebrates his team's successes. But leading and celebrating aren't the only things he's renowned for. He's also a very efficient player. Let's travel back to IEM Gamescom 2015 and the match between Renegades and Cadian's SK Gaming. He needed just 2 bullets to stop 4 advancing enemies.
Lashes are coming into B. They've gone with a bit more tempo. Oh, double shot! Takes down Yaman Sponge. He was missing earlier, but I suppose he makes up for it. Taking 2 with 1 bullet there. There's Cadian again! Oh my god! 2 bullets, 4 people for Cadian. Pretty fantastic stuff. And we said Cadian needs some confidence back, and well, if you if you need confidence, I don't think it gets much better than that.
Matter of fact, about to blow up the Hall of Fame. So good, hell, I'm all fine. Got a sweet little ooh, and it's all mine. My shoe games, class high, hear it all the time. You can tell me I can. Come back when you got something to say. Alright, hot damn, not worrying about. Glasses on, my hoodie's right. Break the door, give me side eyes. Are you feeling yours? Cause I'm feeling mine. Slide back to the future, got my own time. It's sniffing dope to feel right. Got my own high, don't need no lines. Sneaky bitches never ever acting so nice. Alright. You can tell me I can. Come back when you got something to say. Just put the volume up there. You can tell me I can. Come back when you got something to say. Just put the volume up there. Take a seat in the back, yeah. Alright, hot damn. Not worrying about man's got a plan. It's not really about the dough, got a time frame. Matter of fact, about to blow up the Hall of Fame. So good, hell, I'm all fine. Got a sweet little ooh, and it's all mine. My shoe games, class high, hear it all the time.
Well, they've done it. Heroic get themselves the 2-1 victory, and they get themselves now up to 2-0 here in the groups of Group A at the ESL Pro League Season 13. And what a way to do it as well, to close it out here on Vertigo after losing Mirage so heavy-handedly. I'm Jason Kaplan, still joined by Pimp, and we have to start to break this one down because this was a series that you even said before we even started this match today, this is going to go 3. Definitely has the potential to go 3. It definitely did, and you can see how excited they are on the screens as well. What a pumped-up victory for them to change 2 players around and come into now winning 4 best-of-3s in a row and to be top of the table in their groups. Can't get better than that.
It's a great start from Heroic, but also another worrying sign for Big Clan, of course. But let's focus on
I was trying to get the positives in there.
It's just, I just cannot, I cannot understand the fact that Big Clan right now is struggling, right? But if you're Heroic, you're right. You're bringing in 2 new players, and all of a sudden you're finding the success from the get-go. I think you see both Cadian activated as an in-game leader, but he's also found a way to activate his new players. Shussit doing a good job. I would say Refresh as well, doing a good job in this matchup. He went for 4 out of 6 opening duels, won 4 of those, only lost a couple of those. Cadian hasn't really sacrificed too much in terms of his own playing style within this lineup while slotting in new 2 players, and I like that approach. You need to know where your core values are, and Cadian is a player with a lot of productivity on the server, so to see him still do that while still slotting in 2 new players is, in my books, a huge accomplishment towards his name.
Yeah, and I feel like, we talk about refreshes, talk about like 2nd, 3rd, 4th chances or whatever. I feel like Cadian almost fills that same slot. Thinking back to 2014, you guys, I know I'm showing my age here. Back when he was on Mouse Sports, like he had a hard time finding a solid team to play with, but he kept the grind on, and he's found himself being in one of the best teams in the world, and that's phenomenal to see.
I even had to kick him a couple of times from my teams, right? Because back then he wasn't good enough, but nowadays he's a completely changed player. I think he's been through so much diversity, he's been through so much hardship that now finally it has molded him to into a great player. He's a great in-game leader. He's working well with his teammates. As said, he has a great productivity on the server. So Kadian, a player that's really been through hell and fire and now finally finds himself at a place where he can be very proud of what he's accomplished.
Yeah, and not only him. There's another player on the team that we haven't talked about too much over the course of today and yesterday that we need to talk about, and luckily we have him join us here as well. We got Tessus on the line here. Tessus, can you hear us? Hey, how are you doing, man? Yeah. How does it feel? 2-0 in the group. You guys are looking phenomenal.
Well, today was a really good test for us as a team. We played a really good team against Big. It was kind of the first test for us to see how our level is, and I must say it feels so good to play. So many good mid-round calls coming from everyone. Everyone is just coming with inputs, and right now it's just working really good. So yeah.
Tessus, we talked to Refresh already. We talked a bit to Kadian. How is it for you to play with the new guys in the lineup in Refresh's shoes? Are they slotting in well? Has it affected your gameplay at all, or is it just more or less an easy transition?
Well, for me, it's I have some new roles on the CT side, but it's an easy transition for me, to be honest. Refresh and Shoes are great players, and they fit into the team style, the play style really well, and the roles they have, they also fit them. So that's really nice. So I think, yeah, I'm just looking forward to see what we can do in the future.
I know this may be a bit of a tough one to ask you, but if you have to give me the biggest difference between Refresh and Shoes and then comparing them to Nico and Burp, is there anything in particular that stands out? Are they good at communicating? Are they just better players? What is the difference now than before?
Oh, that's a really tough question. To be honest, I don't know. Right now, everything is just working. Like Refresh is a very good mid-round player who takes chances. He knows how to outplay the opponent in front of him, and yeah, he knows his timings, and he's kind of a smoke criminal. And Shoes is a really good anchor player. Like he just holds that B vertigo perfectly, for example, and yeah, they're both doing really well.
So I'm not trying to put you on the spot here, and I'm not trying to get you to talk bad about any prior teammates, but when we interviewed Alexi B, they were talking about how Nico brings this energy to the team, and it brings this laughter and this fun kind of vibe. What kind of vibe is Shush and Refresh bringing to the team that you maybe were lacking before that's helping you guys excel so well?
Well, before we had good energy as well, and now we have more good energy. Everyone is really positive about all things, about criticism, and everything is just it's like a honeymoon right now. I think everything is just really nice.
Those are lovely, you know.
I don't want to know who has the honeymoon suite with the two players. So then last question for you here. You guys are 2-0 in the group. You guys, at the moment, are looking fairly good to make it into playoffs. I'm not going to say it's a done deal just yet. I don't want to burn myself here. But what would it mean to you guys to potentially come out with these roster changes, come out first place, and potentially get yourself through straight into the semifinals of the playoffs?
Well, it would be great if we move on to the playoffs. That's our goal right now, and yeah, we just want to prove what we have been working on, even though we haven't played with each other for a long time. We just want to show our skill right now, and that's what we're doing.
Would you see Complexity then being the next mountain to climb for you guys, since they're the only other team to be 2-0 in the group?
Well, Funplus Phoenix is a good team as well. Okay. We don't need to underestimate them. They have a great team. But yeah, Complexity is also looking really good. So yeah, that's definitely the next mountain.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Tessus, for joining us. We appreciate it, and congratulations once again on your victory here. So proud of you guys to be able to pull off these 2 victories so far, and obviously wish you the best of luck going into the future.
Thanks.
Really cool to hear actually from him there. I respect that, by the way, because I tried to bait him in to talk about Complexity, and he's like, hold on, Jason. I know you haven't been around the CS scene for a long time, but Funplus Phoenix, we can't underestimate any of the teams out there.
No, not at all. I think they've been looking good. We saw them play today, and they got a rather convincing 2-0 against Renegades. Surely Renegades may be the weakest team in this group, at least by now. But if you're Funplus Phoenix, you know, you've been struggling with some roster changes yourself. You have Sonny coming in, all of a sudden playing, you know, an old version of Counter-Strike where Sonny Johnny is actually the best player on the server. I absolutely love to see it. I think he's one of the biggest talents that we have missed the last couple of years. A lot of potential within him. So I think Tess is a smart guy here, saying that Fun plus Phoenix has to be the team that we need to worry a little bit about. Let's be honest, Heroic, they've beat Big Clan and they've beat Renegade so far, and those two are the only two teams who haven't picked up a win yet. You know, they are struggling massively in this group, so the easy opponents have been beaten. So let's see what happens when they face Complexity, OG, and FPX.
Well, we'll see what's all going to be played tomorrow, since we still have 3 more matches to come up for you guys at home. It's still going to be another exciting day of games. We got Renegades up against OG to kick things off. Then we got Heroic up against Fun plus Phoenix, as we just heard Tessa's talk about. And to close things out, Big up against Complexity. There is a chance that if Big lose this game, they could be out of the playoffs. The number 1 seed, number 7, might not make it in.
That's a must win. That's a must win for Big Clan. And I'm afraid to say, right, what we saw here tonight was not a positive sign at all. I mean, Mirage was good. There was great play by Santeros. It was great by Big Clan. They found themselves, you know, some success. But overall, as a team, they left me with a very poor impression. They are in a crisis right now. They're not playing Counter-Strike to the same standard they're used to. We know Big Clan can be one of the best, if not the best team in the world when they're really hitting their stride. But so far in this group stage, it's been too much hit or miss. So yeah, tomorrow they are forced to win against Complexity, who for my money are looking stronger and stronger every single time I see them play.
Well, we'll find out what will happen tomorrow when we do get to that. Remember, we're going to keep kicking off yet again at 12 CET. Make sure you guys continue to join us day in and day out here at the ESL Pro League Season 13.
It's still adrenaline. Running through my gate. It gets me high, high, high. Got no time to waste. Ain't got time for small talk. I tell you the truth. Just faster than you. Just
Hi, my name is Suli. My handle is Smix. I think it's important for these initiatives to happen. Empathy really, really goes a long way, and it always, always means so much to us, and I think that's where initiatives like this really help. Good luck, have fun.
Yes, nice shot, my friend.
Cheaters ruining your plays?
I have eyes on the enemy.
Bad servers stopping your shots? What you need is ESEA. Advanced anti-cheat to stop cheaters. And the best servers around, all with 128 tick rate. ESEA, the best way to play CSGO.
first thing you notice, you feel a bit excited. You see a purple butterfly is flying by. A little tension in your jaw, let your teeth shine. Put on your blue dress, it fits just fine. You go to hell, never coming back. There is nothing as it seems in your requiem for a dream. Halfway through, you start to lose control. Orange autumn leaves on the ground. At the end, there's nothing, and you face yourself. Green is all you see as you fall. You go to hell, never coming back. There is nothing as it seems in your requiem.
Ready and waiting to see exactly what we get offered up from the Oceanic competitors on the defense. It is Renegades on the CT side.
Oh,
Flawless pistol, then flubbed the molly. FBX, Farley gets a slap on the wrist. -10 DKP. They've lost their pistol. They're picking it up. It's already set the scene, Chad, for what we may be consuming tonight.
Yeah, well, the fact they get the kills after flubbing the molly on the execute, that's one that they're going to remember as Farley's going to take down Alistair, or maybe not. Malta's found one as well.
Hello, Alistair, however, has fallen, met by Maiden. Zen in lobby for the afterplant. They can tickle it. They're taking their time. There is plenty of it. Quick kill onto Maiden is required. Sicko does hit the necessary shots. He's got a good one-on-one. Zen hits the first, and now surely it's his. He can play with the clock here, play with the jewel, but a quick, precise shot. Malta's done enough. 3 from him. Sicko with an important contribution as well, but Renegades retake. Fun plus Phoenix gonna feel like they've had that one robbed away.
Yeah, okay, just for people who maybe are like, what's wrong, Chad? Why you're already off to a bit of a quakey start? Well, nobody broke the windows for Farley to throw his molly. Now, probably the person who made the strat, usually the in-game leader or the coach, would have somebody assigned to doing that. And we know that right now FPX are in a bit of flux regarding that whole in-game leader situation. So maybe that's why, but regardless, bomb goes down, they get a bunch of kills, and they can get some AKs out. So 3 rifles, it's gonna be 2 AK-47s, a Galil, and we've even got ourselves a Tech-9 and a Deagle. Utility not too bad. The buy from Renegades, Famis's, they've got an Org straight out for Malta. MP9 for ins and a scout towards yard. Zen, very quick, dry.
He's already across, dude, and this is so much power, even in just the position.
Has Sicko seen that whatsoever? It looks like he's still just facing towards yard right now.
You know, good point.
He's been smoked off, so he's definitely aware that something could have slipped the net. And House is down here already. This is a big fight.
Oh, yeah, he has.
Sunny
even. The double fins. And fins in the water as they start to circle towards the lower site. Ooh, Malta evades the Deagle, blocks off with the incendiary. He's bought himself time for any potential ramp funny business, and a nice smoke blooming. If Alistair continues to weather the storm of the nades and bullets, he has done so nicely, they'll pivot to top side. Looks like Sunny's distraction's not going to get him far.
He's watching Squeaky right now for Renegades, because that's where they want to drop. FPX, those pistols into Squeaky door. Sicko's taking some damage.
Gotta live.
Is it a top split? They're going back
Feels
towards
like
main.
it, yeah. Splitting up towards the top side. Ins deals with 1. Close quarters, perfect weapon for the job with an MP9. Alistair, oh, he's actually opted for the flank. Sunny's going to have his pants pulled around his ankles there. Expecting the swing from main. Zen's got a lot to deal with, especially now the CTs are starting to close. The vice grip, lobby pressure. Hats has found Zen. And there you have it. Renegades pretty clean, tidy, and some upgrades found across the map.
Yeah, handled there. It did look dicey for a moment. Sicko losing track of them in yard. The fact that they had so much control. Alistair didn't get too flustered, didn't go for fights he didn't need to. And from there was able to come in with a clutch flank. And 2-0 the scoreline as FPX will be opting to go for an eco round here. Some light upgraded pistols will be on the agenda. As you can see, Zen there going for that Tech 9. Maiden with a Deagle, and Sunny and Sticko chiming in with the same. Farley, the AWP player for the squad, will be holding on to just a Glock, making sure he has the finances. Let's get back on board with Sicko here.
Bang. It's pretty embarrassing that my job is to commentate Counter-Strike and I still accidentally just say bang when I'm watching.
Sound effects?
Yeah.
Yeah, look, why not? We could probably do a whole round.
It's just very satisfying. Like, if you guys have never done it at home, just say bang, and sometimes when they hit the shot, you kind of feel like you controlled it. Just me, maybe.
If you see the MP9, do a bit more of a brrr.
Yeah. How's your skrr? Can you roll your tongue? Brrr. Just roll the tongue. Give me an R. Okay, so you could totally skrr if you wanted to.
I could.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm too old for that.
I don't know. Stay trapping, dude. Stay trapping. Brand new whip just hum.
Renegades just need to defend against this one and see if they can deny the plant. Don't let any excess cash come in. Now, if you put the shoe on the other foot, FPX will be looking to take as many bodies as they can and get that bomb down. Oof. Another tag onto Sunny. He had a rough time of it yesterday against Complexity.
Yeah, look at this. He's taking some liberties, though. Tagged up immediately. He manages to get across, and now Sicko is going to have to relay that information, Chad. At least it is the smallest bricks in this sandcastle, but it is going to maybe pull at least a CT down ramp. It looks like Alistair is going to acknowledge that that's a gap.
Yeah, they need to not get caught with their knives out as much as what they did yesterday, the Renegades.
Yeah, they're going ramp. They're actually walking into the gap that they've created here with the Sunny position.
Well, they have to break the window. Alistair hears this.
Hasn't heard it yet. And here we go. Quick reactions from Alistair. If they can pressure onto Malta, he's filled the gap nicely with the orb.
Rotator as well.
Oh, it's clean.
Easy. You can see the Link players there. You can see how they were all connected, the good information. But Yard has been quite open on a few of these early rounds, right? That might change when we get to the gun rounds, but that's a gap that FPX will definitely be able to close on up. Farley gets out his AWP. Now let's look for a couple of the standard FPX plays. We talk about their top explode where they play in that squeaky door. They go for those secret smokes to get lower control. Very good at that once they do get across. Farley getting boosted on top of the red box yesterday was where they were finding.
That was very effective. Good point.
Poison, so that's something that Renegades will need to keep.
We have got the T-side orb, so outside smokes as well as a potential for the boost. Sicko did equip himself as well. He's pre-aiming the right spot into the shin pads of Farley.
He was ready for the jump spot there, not ready for the full boost.
Oh, they dunk him. Sicko. Good nade.
Good arm.
Lovely hops. Alistair, graceful, like a gazelle, prancing across the plains of Cedar Creek.
Oh, this is stalled out again, and if FPX aren't able to take some ground back after losing that opening...
Malta's looking frisky. I mean, he is in his home turf now. How appropriate.
His alias used to be Man from Malta.
And now he's straight up boot camping in Malta. Probably didn't see that chapter of his life coming in when he chose that nickname, did he?
All right, well, this is going to be a tough one because look towards the top side. We have Ins tucked in. MP9 ready to strike. Hats to play off of his contact.
Alistair's up to his usual antics.
Needs to be careful, though. Look how much time we're still dealing with. Just 50 seconds.
Dude, imagine if Sunny... Yeah, okay, so he's actually potentially vulnerable. That's a good time smoke, dude. They'll throw bullets down range, nothing connecting. FPX, though, they are twiddling their thumbs here, Chad. What's the go?